See how much lag there is.
You lied.
Not on mine, I ain't.
You're on mine. I got your beautiful,
Oh.
gorgeous face, looking gormless.
Thank you.
Are you going to play your intro?
Yeah, when there's a few people in. We've only got 5 people in now. Good afternoon, 5, 6, 7 of you that are in here.
Who we
hang on.
got? Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch, Acacia,
me.
you. Holly dropped in. Stuart, good afternoon if you're still there, mate. Rob, good afternoon, mate. Oh, what a glorious day.
No, it's too hot.
I mean, this is the hottest this corner's been. No, last night it went up to about 28. It's been 25 most of the day, and it's just gone up now to 27. But this is always the coolest place in the house in this corner.
Which is why I'm sat by the fan.
Jason, good afternoon, buddy. Christ, the numbers, we've only got 4 in there at the
I was
moment.
going to say, it says it's gone down to 4.
Oh, talk to myself.
10, that's better.
Saying 10, not on.
Oh, Dan's in the house.
On StreamYard, it says 4.
I've got 10. Dan's in the house.
Good afternoon, Dan. How are you, buddy? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, now it's gone up to 10.
I've got 12 now.
So there must be a big lag on StreamYard as well. Yeah, they're saying 27, Rob. Like I say, it's very cool in this corner. It's at 27 now. That'll probably go up to about 28 later on because as the sun moves around the front, it warms the front of the house up. But we've got the curtain. What?
Weather app says 29 outside, real feel 32.
Well, if you go and turn the car on, it'll tell you in there, won't it? Probably about 40.
No, that's what I said the other day. It said
it's Stitch.
It felt far hotter.
Can someone just give me the thumbs up, say you can see and hear me okay? I haven't checked that yet with the tech issues I've been having. Yeah, she's 5v5. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, Holly's off enjoying her day. Fair play to her. Is all I can say on that front.
Too hot, not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Other than the supermarket with the aircon.
We got the big fan going behind, and I got my little pink one on the table.
It can take me to half an hour to walk round a little Tesco's because it's so nice.
Yeah.
You walk in through the front door, you get the aircon and the smell of coffee.
Well, there you go. Look, yeah, I was having a few tech issues earlier in the week, as most of you know, and it seemed down to be a editing suite that I'd uploaded. I said this in a video the other day. For some reason, as soon as I tried to interact with it, with the computer or anything else, the thing just sent the computer into meltdown to the point where I had to uninstall it. Heather had to spend a day and a half over 3 days putting the bloody computer right and setting everything back up. I was recommended several editing suites, including the one that messed everything up, but I believe it was designed for Windows 11. It wouldn't work on my Windows 10. I only had the free version, but it seems to be cloud-based. So it was changing formats and all sorts of bloody stuff. So in the end, Dan, Police Abusing Powers, recommended one which was very similar, which was CapCut. and it's very similar to the other one. It's, in fact, I'd say it's got one or two more features, but I seem to be able to use it okay. So, fingers crossed. The computer's all worked ever since I've had it. I've used it a few times today. I've even managed to cobble together another couple of openings for the videos because I want to change them. And I'll play them for you guys in a bit and see what you think of them. But first of all, let's, because I always forget this. We'll bang that in there. Bear in mind, I'm only on the free version of StreamYard, so I can only have a maximum of 6 on the panel. That's why I've got the cheapskate editing suite, because I won't pay for one.
You can pin it?
I have.
Oh, it hasn't come up yet on mine. Sorry.
26 in Liverpool. Yeah, you're on the coast a bit there as well, Dan, though, so you do get a bit of that breeze if there is one. Here, there's no breeze whatsoever. Nothing is blowing anywhere. I hope you're behind there and not...
It's me. It is me. Can you hear me?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not coming on camera because I'm not dressed.
Yeah. your sounds crackly as well a bit.
I'm on my phone. That might be why. I don't normally come on here on my phone. So I apologise for the quality of the sound.
No worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, that editing suite, I've been playing with it again this morning.
I knew you would.
Well, I've been saying for months that I want to do a better opening sequence for the videos.
Yeah.
Like that one I showed you this morning, and then I've got another one which I done earlier on as well. And I'll put them up later just to see what people think of them. What have you, it was just learning to use it more than anything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot you can do, but I mean, even the basic stuff makes it, is pretty good.
And it's once you go through it, I mean, one or two of the things Heather had to show me. I'm not too keen on using the AI voice, but but overlaying things, actually doing things with what's on the screen and manipulating them, putting banners up and stuff like that, and putting several layers on the screen at a time.
Yeah.
But the problem is on there's when I do my openings, the last one, I used some animated things that were on the other editor.
Right.
This editor doesn't have them.
Right.
You can get them, but it means you have to pay for them and download them. So what I've done, I went back onto the laptop that's still got the other editor on it.
Right.
Got me two basics that I wanted with the animation.
Yeah.
Then put it on this computer and then added the other bits that I wanted.
Right. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. There's a lot you can do as you learn more. You'll find so much more different things that you can do like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the one that you showed me earlier or last night, early hours this morning, whenever it was. Yeah, it was good. You've done really well with that. I thought it was really impressive.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's, considering I don't know myself a way around a computer, I haven't got any graphics set up or anything. All I'm using is what's there.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it's something I'm going to use regular, then I got to be careful of like taking screenshots to use and stuff like that, because obviously there's copyright, privacy rules. So at the moment, I'm just using what's there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that I know I ain't going to get. There's non-copyright music on there I can use as well. And
Yeah, lots of music, lots of sound effects, lots of. I mean, sound effects you're probably not going to use very often anyway. I only use it in the very beginning. Oh. I mean, the only sound effect I use, the only sound effects I use is in the again for the very opening. I've got 2 sound effects in the very opening of my videos, and that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, Dan, I'm really proud of what he's achieved. Because
yeah, it looks good.
get on with it, have a look at it, look here, look there, do this, do that. And he's off
Yeah.
and running. And considering how little he knows, it's a big achievement. It really is. I'm really, really proud of him.
Yeah. Yeah, just spend. You know, all you got to do is spend like half an hour a day just faffing about with it. And you know, if you make a mistake, you delete it and start again. You know, there's no, no issues, and that's the thing for learning, isn't it? You know, when you're self-taught, you just faff about with it when you can. And it's not like everybody's watching you mess up if it messes up. You just you mess up in private.
I did do a couple of proofs, and I didn't like the way they turned out, and I hadn't imported them or whatever they do. So I just went back and redone it.
Yeah.
You know, all right, that bit needs moving. That bit could be doing a bit quieter. That could be doing louder.
Just remember, there is thousands of tutorials on YouTube as well. But when you look for them, because a lot of them are for the mobile phone. So when you look for them, you make sure you put in PC in the search as well. Otherwise, you'll get a million mobile phone tutorials, which are no good for the PC.
Yeah, I've noticed that before. A lot of them are tablet based and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, good afternoon, Stitch. You all right, my dear?
Hi, Pops. Hi, Dan. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Stitch.
Hi, Stitch.
You alright? Hiya. Hello, everybody else.
Yeah, all 12 of them. But can't complain. We had a good crowd in last Friday. So, and in this weather as well. People are probably out enjoying it.
Hot.
You know?
I only been out for a little bit. I had to take the dog to the poochie parlour to get herself pooched up. And, oh man, it was so bad.
Well, what it is now, this is like I remember summers as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just not used to it.
It'd be freezing bloody cold, and in the summer it would be sweltering.
Yeah, the reason it's so bad is because people aren't used to it.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying it's bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it, that for the last 20 years we've been told that the temperatures are going to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise, and the ice caps are going to melt and melt and melt and melt and melt. But yet we've had shit weather for years, really.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're looking at the levels of the sea and that now, and they say it hasn't risen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It hasn't risen at all. But I see Manchester police screwed up again with another one, so-called corrupted body cam footage.
Again, because of how things are for me at the moment, if I sit and look for stories, it pisses me off that I can't get them out. So I'm not looking at the moment for anything.
It's just another one's come forward. One of the girls, she was 14 at the time, said she was strip searched and
right.
Oh God.
She's an adult now.
No, she was strip searched 14 without.
Oh yeah, strip search without responsible adult. And
oh wow.
What they were saying was there's nothing on the body cam or the cell footage to corroborate what she says.
Of course there isn't.
And a year down the line, when she applied for it again, all of a sudden it got corrupted. Yeah,
that's convenient,
usual
isn't
shit, you know. Afternoon, so.
Well, it can't get corrupted if there isn't any. So,
no. But
very peculiar.
In the footage that would corroborate her complaint.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it gets corrupted.
Dodgy fuckers, innit?
Dickheads. Hello, summertime, Stu.
Well, look at was it East Yorkshire? Was it the whole of their bloody camera footage for the last 3 fucking years just disappeared? You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them gremlins.
It just seems strange that you had the thing with the PSNI, then you had the Met one. Now Manchester are saying possibly they've been. The North Yorkshire or whatever, they definitely were, or they've done it themselves. It's
But there's an agenda to this. There is an agenda to this. Okay, I don't know what it is, but all of these places, you know, saying that, you know, they've been hacked or whatever, you know, things have gone missing on their IT systems. This is an agenda.
Yeah.
Something is coming. Something is coming. I don't know what, but something is coming.
and you look at all these ones it's been happening to, they are all the ones that got big money from the government over the last 2 years to update and install new IT and new tech.
Yeah.
Millions of pounds worth. So they don't know what's in that tech. Yeah, just saying. You don't know where that tech's come from. It's but you just can't. You can't trust them. We never have. But it's just getting worse and worse now. And with these new powers they're on about giving them, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Getting locked up just for not agreeing with the net zero shit.
I know, can you imagine that? No, I don't want a smart meter. Right, you're under arrest for refusing a smart meter. You don't have to say anything. Fuck off. Dear, oh dear.
Oh,
Madness.
it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, it's like this so-called terrorist on the loose. Now,
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware, he was convicted on just collecting information while he was in the army, collecting information on colleagues.
Right.
That's all I've heard. And he got locked up on the basis of that being classed as terrorism. He probably connected to a group somewhere.
Well, just got to look at his name, haven't you?
Yeah. But why would you put out in public that this guy is a terrorist? First of all, they said suspected terrorist. Well, if he was only suspected, he wouldn't have been locked up, would he? But he's not dangerous, but you shouldn't approach him. He's no threat to the public. Yet they'll throw all these millions of pounds worth of resources into finding him. Fucking helicopters. You know, I mean, if he's connected to a group, he's long gone.
Yeah, they're saying he's not dangerous because they don't want to frighten the public, right?
Yeah.
They've told the public not to approach him, right? Which shows that he's fucking dangerous anyway. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that he's not a threat to stop the public from panicking.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying it's not connected, but with this, the Channel Tunnel now shut off as well. They pulled a car or something or other, and they got the bomb squad in there. Well, they're saying explosive experts, but to me, that screams bomb squad if the police and that are involved.
Yeah, yeah.
They've shut the Channel Tunnel down. No crossings on the shuttle or nothing. Apparently, they found some suspect in a car. So that's going to cause absolute mayhem.
Found someone suspect in a car. Or did they find a placard that said no to the green agenda?
I'm just thinking how many channel paddlers decide to take the long walk and are stuck in the middle. Yes, so they are. You can't trust them. They'll twist any single word you say. There's more and more of them are being called out now, but then Rowley's saying he can't sack them. Well, absolutely he can, as Dan has said many times. Any boss has the right to absolutely dismiss any worker for gross misconduct.
They do.
They don't need any extra laws.
No, but the thing is, they have to go through a process. They have to go through a meeting, a gross misconduct
Gross
hearing.
misconduct on
Now-
employment law, you can sack them on the spot.
I think it's different with the police. The police have got some protections. Now, but the thing is, and as you've rightly said a minute ago, I've pointed this out many times. I have made so many videos on my channel where the chief constable of a police force has chaired the meeting, the misconduct meeting, and decided that somebody should be sacked. Rowley has been saying that he can't do that, which is absolute bullshit. Because, as I've said, I've reported many times on chief constables doing exactly that. They are supposed to have a legally qualified chair, which is somebody like a solicitor or somebody with legal training. So for the police to do it themselves is bollocks anyway, because they're not legally qualified. But they do it. And for Rowley to say that they can't and they don't is absolute disingenuous bullshit.
It's just fucking ridiculous. It's, you know, there's any employment, if somebody's done wrong and it's that bad that it'd be classed as gross misconduct, don't matter what job you're in, it should be. I mean, the army, what do they do with it? You're in the bloody lockup.
Yeah, off to Chelmsford.
Until you're court-martialed. You know. It's... I mean, yeah, I've been sacked from the odd job for gross misconduct, but yeah, it was deserved. And to be honest, I was looking for the sack, and to the point where one of them I had the foreman out, but considering the guy was an idiot.
Yeah.
It's telling me how to wave a shovel around. I'll fucking show you. Got this. Yes, so I reckon if he's got any connections, he'd have been out the country in the first couple of hours, barring strikes, of course.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Stuart. I meant Colchester, not Chelmsford. Yeah, Colchester.
Yeah, glass house.
I know it began with a C. I'm tired. Forgive me.
Stuart would know, being a vet. Jorge, good afternoon, mate. Back taking notes. Yeah, keep taking them notes, buddy. Hope you're doing it in shorthand.
Who's that? Who's that?
Jorge.
American.
He was in. Yeah, is he?
In America.
I think he's in America, or so he said.
Oh.
He was in either yours Sunday or last week on mine.
Last week on yours.
Last week on mine, Heather's just told me.
Because his mum thinks you look.
Oh, yeah, that's right. His mum thinks I'm sexy.
You are, Roger.
He works for the feds. That was it. He was taking notes last week. He was going to hand it all to the feds.
Hello, Pat. How you doing?
Tell him I said fag.
Oh, Dan, I've written
And for
something in the
reference, I am
private
now
chat.
rolling a fag, just so that can't be taken the wrong way.
And I am also having a pre-rolled fag right now.
I don't smoke straight, so I haven't done for years. The filters give me a bad throat.
Well, I can't smoke roll-ups and they're real. Like rolled in tobacco makes me feel funny when I smoke that. It's really weird.
Jorge says he likes the way he's sat on the toilet. Yeah, well, if you look at the thumbnail today, Jorge, doesn't get much better than that, does it? I can sit on it and talk to you.
As long as he mutes his mic at the
Yeah. Mute the mic.
As long as you're not watching the live stream when Roger's in the shower. No. I don't sing in there, but there are other things that blokes do that you wouldn't want to be advertised. Let's just see if I can find that. Oh, where is it? I've been getting used to this moving stuff about, but then I forget where I put it. So I've actually created loads and loads of files, but then I can't remember what's in the bloody files. Where are we?
That one.
Well, if you name the folders appropriately, then you should be able to find things.
Yeah, it's, you know what I'm like. It's
I'll stick it there for now.
yeah, I'll put it there for now, and I'll move it when I get round to it. And
Yeah, I remember I used to have a desktop that had no room because it just had screenshots and notepads and all sorts of stuff that I need for what I do, just because I know where it is, and then I forget to delete it or move it afterwards. And oh god, it's a good thing I've got 3 screens.
right, let's see if this plays.
Just as
I've
a
got
matter
to
of
remove
interest,
that.
the more icons you have on your desktop, the
The
slower
more-
your computer will be.
Yeah, the more processing power it uses. Yeah.
Right, I'm just about to play this one now. Let's see. What do you guys think of this one? Has it got sound?
Yeah, kind of, but it's very jumpy for me anyway. I don't know about the rest of the people
that's
watching.
the actual. See if that does it. It might be StreamYard.
It's shit, Roger. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, shrinking for me too.
I'm only joking. No, you done well again. Considering, based on you look at your last videos, right? Everything on your last videos was basically a still image. Apart from, I think you just had one thing on there that was animated in your opening. And the fact you've gone from that to what that is, with many different things going on at once, I think you've done a really good job.
Thank you very much. I'll do the other one in a minute. I'll just good afternoon, Alistair. No, not familiar with that. Jorge, there you go. Couple of tattoos for your mum on my chest.
I was just kind of thinking about David Irving. I must have a look to it.
I got some of what the requests I get on here. It's a bit like Facebook, but I don't answer most of them. Right, Dan's already seen this one, so let's see what.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to play it twice because the first time it's jumpy, the second time it plays straight through.
It's not loading up, is it? Right, start at the beginning.
Do you know what I'd do there, Roger? I'd make those buttons a little bit smaller.
What, the subscribe and that?
The like and the subscribe buttons. Just make them a little bit smaller so they don't take up so much of what's going on in the background at the time.
Rightio. This is what I want. You know, I want a bit of feedback from it. Good afternoon, Matrix. Oh, look who we got in now.
Hello, Matrix.
Well, the best thing to do is give her a towel, Jorge, before she sits down to watch the streams. Or even better, I'll tell you another little trick with them is the old pet absorption pads. If you can get her to sit on one of them at exactly 5 to 4, we might be getting somewhere. Or get a stadium, buddy.
Won't be slipping off the sofa with one of them.
Not if it's a leather one, anyway. You'll have to slide her to the arm to get her off. Don't start that this early in the day. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's me. I always put in the description, keep it clean and respectful. And who's the worst one to start it?
Jorge,
yeah.
Jorge's mum starts it.
I was going to like him to somebody else's mum, but I won't go into that because they're from another channel.
Hi, Queen, Acacia. I'll just call you Queen. I'll just call you Queenie.
Hello, Queen. You right, mate?
I got my little pink thing to keep me cool.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better.
Oh, it was one header out upstairs, but for some reason it won't work properly on the computer USBs. It needs a little bit more room through like a power supply. But England, good afternoon, mate.
Hello, England.
England's a knackered in it.
Yeah, it's only a cheap bloody like a Poundland thing. I've stopped watching the live stream around Mum. Dad isn't very happy. Maybe Mum can actually use the fact that she's wet and make your dad happy on the live stream, so she can imagine me as your dad. You know what I mean? They do it all the time on Pornhub.
Roger, it's not me. It's not past the watershed yet.
Yes, behave.
Oh, dear. But it's better to have a little bit of fun like this than drama in it. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yep, I've always got the good ideas. Or hey, I've been there on many an occasion, mate. I even had one woman say, "You've lasted too long." I said, "Well, yep, I can't think of anybody." She wasn't very happy, and it didn't end there because she got up and left. It's like the ones that turn around saying, "Who are you going to make happy with that?" I said, "Well, you ain't paying for it. What are you bitching about?" Yeah, it's like that. Where is it? There's I can't remember where it is now. It's some island somewhere, and I saw an advert for it where you cannot sleep with your partner unless you are married. It's law on the island, but they did pass a law where you can get married in the evening and divorced in the morning to get round this and earn a little bit of money out of it. But the advert actually said you can divorce them in the morning. You know, if it don't fit, they won't kiss it.
Wow.
I can't remember what island it was. Thank you, Alex.
Oh my god.
Haven't seen him before, is he new?
Yeah, are you new, Alec? I haven't seen your name in here before. So I'd wait a bit for the replies because we've got such a bloody lag on here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the problem is, Stuart, with that is you never know, right? They say they've found guns and explosives. You don't know what they've found. Half of it could be bullshit. They could literally be saying it just to fucking cover their asses and to bring in the agenda. None of us will ever know. Which is the sad thing about it.
A lot of people are frightened to confront them like they do in this country because every single one of them carries a bloody shooter.
Not Paul from PSI abusing their power.
No, he's not frightened of them. Yes, Alistair, there is some very, very strange things going on out there in Hawaii. Very strange. Afternoon, Pat. I know. Yeah, that thing in Maui. There's last thing I heard was about 200 kids missing, but also missing the school buses. Which seems very strange.
Well, what's that? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. The insurance companies are paying out quickly on those that want to settle if they want to sell the land so they can be paid off, sell their bit of land to the elites or the government and move on. Those that don't want to sell and won't accept the money, they're not paying out and they're holding them all up and dragging them through courts and stuff.
That's right. The ones that don't want to sell, there'll be another fucking fire soon.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that don't add up. A lot of things. I'm not saying they're all true. Obviously, in any situation like that, there's going to be conspiracies and what have you. But the actual physical evidence, like there's videos of the police stopping people leaving and stuff like that, it just points at that there is something really, really smelly going on in there. Really smelly. You know, and the fact that the elites are there you know, they're buying land up around theirs that they already had there and shit like that. And
Mate,
it's blatantly obvious, you know.
Matrix. Do you mind if I just respond to Matrix, Rog?
Yeah, carry on, buddy.
Yeah, the new laws about putting homeowners in prison. It's £15,000 fine or 12 months in prison for even questioning, in some cases, the energy bill. Right. This is this is a scare tactic, which unfortunately works on most people. They cannot lock everybody up. If everybody turns around and goes, "No, fuck you," what are they going to do? They haven't got the room as it is for criminals, you know, because it's full up with people that have said something that somebody else doesn't like the sound of. So they haven't got the room to lock people up. And if people realise that and turn around and go, "Do you know what? Fuck it." I mean, I'm not being funny. A year in prison. I mean, to be fair, most people would have a fucking whale of a time. 3 meals a day. I don't get 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 3 meals a day. You're getting your fucking gas and lecky paid for whilst you're in there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's being paid for by the taxpayer. So you're probably better off being in there anyway. You know what I mean? But they just don't have the room. They don't have the room. All they'll do is they'll do like they did with Welshie. They go after the ringleader of a situation and scare everybody else. So whoever it is that's doing all the let's be against it, they'll be the people that get locked up in the hope of frightening everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the dissenting against anything where they're bringing that thing in like that. I mean, it's already been proved that they can't force you to have an electric meters. They smart meters. They will try. And as I predicted a while back, yes, they've already said that the energy prices will go up at the next statement, as they're calling them now, not budget, statements. So they're not saying this is what we want to do. What they're actually saying is this is what we're going to do, and you're going to accept it. Yes, Rob, Lockheed Martin have been connected to heat weapons for quite some time. I've never seen one commercially used, but I have seen military tests on video, genuine military tests.
A while ago, there was a Chinese satellite. Not the one that got, not the balloon thing, not the one that floated over America, not that one. We're talking quite a while before that. There was a video of something shooting down a green laser from space. And it turned out they said that it turned out to be a Chinese weather, again, another weather fucking thing. But if they can send satellites up in space that can fire a laser of sorts down to, and this was on Hawaii as well, by the way. This video was taken on Hawaii, and if they can do that, then it's not a big jump, is it? Let's face it, it's not a big jump to them using something a bit more powerful. And all they've got to do is fire it on some dry brush or, you know, some a pile of dead leaves or whatever it might be, and it's not a huge leap to see how it could work.
But to me, it's a very strange coincidence that all these fires, and the same as happened in Greece, they all started in different places, all at the same time. So, you know, whatever it was coordinated, because that wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have get sparks flying over 10 miles, 15 miles to start a fire elsewhere that quick.
Yeah.
As for the ones where they say there was things burnt and nothing burnt around them, well, with forest and wildfires, there is such a thing as flashover.
Yeah.
The flames will leap. They won't necessarily touch the ground, but they will burn anything that's sort of off the ground in its path, as it were. You know, that's just one explanation for that. I'm not saying it is, because I'm not a forensic pathologist, as it were. You know, I'm just going on what I see and what I know. But yeah, there's definitely something not kosher about it. Definitely.
I'm not entirely sure, Matrix. Again, recently I've hardly been doing any research into anything, and I literally just jump on jump on a live stream now and again, or watch shit on YouTube to try and keep my mind off of everything else. But
I can answer that, Dan. Yes.
go on.
Richie Sunak has said many times over the last couple of years that free speech and freedom of expression is absolutely a part of democracy that he wants, and then he's the one that is passing these laws. So yes, you are correct there, mate. I did put it in a video yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah, but he hasn't retracted anything with regards with regards to this, inverted commas hate speech crap, which isn't actually hate speech.
Yeah,
that's freedom of speech. If you don't believe something, you have the absolute right to question that in whatever way that you feel necessary. I think, providing you're not inciting violence or anything like that towards somebody, which comes under inciting hatred. If you incite violence against somebody, that's inciting hatred, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you just don't be a dickhead, you're a twat, you're not a woman, you've got a cock, that is classed as hate speech these days, and Sunak's done fuck all about that. He still lets that slide, so to speak.
You ain't no chick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, Stuart, they did, and believe it or not, they were seeding to force rain as well before all these floods and shit that they've been going through. But they were seeding. They've seeded the clouds since the Second World War.
Chinese government is seeding, UK government is CD.
Yeah. And also the Americans did it heavily in Vietnam. And as we know now, not just with seeding iodine and shit like that and aluminium, they were doing it with other chemicals. Obviously, the biggest one they sprayed was it Agent Orange, wasn't it, DDT? But they didn't exactly spray that into the clouds. That was sprayed over the land. So. And I don't remember that. Well, I do remember parts of the Vietnam War because I was in my youth, but not World War II, as some people seem to think. I do know a fair bit about it because I did a lot of history on it. And God knows how many times I've watched The World at War. That is actually still running,
I know.
We actually watched it, first of all, at primary school, would you believe? And it's still rerunning now on Freeview.
So what rank were you, Roger, in the American
Asshole.
Civil War?
I had an upside down stripe, but I was an asshole. Yeah, I mean, I can distinctly remember when we was at primary school, an hour a week, we used to all get into the communal area. They used to turn the telly on and we used to watch the documentary The World at War, including bits from the camps. And
Rod, have you seen Queenie's comment there, Rog? That was fucking disgusting.
Hey, it's proper rank.
To lactate, then donate to babies. Yep. And I believe not the Chinese, the Vietnamese did the same.
It's so gross. Why do they need to do
some
that?
of the things that was done during the Vietnam War and by the Chinese and the Japanese, believe it or not, before World War II. Look up the Japanese. Where was that? Not Japanese, Chinese. When they invaded. Oh God, where was it? But they were bayoneting babies in hospitals and fucking all sorts. It was what was it? The slaughter of. I can't remember the name of it now. Can't remember, or was it the Japanese? I know it was one of them invaded the other anyway. Afternoon, Murph, or evening in your case.
Hello, Murph. Hello, mate.
Yeah,
We went to, the reason we went.
Makes sense.
Reason we went to war, Rob, is the same reason we go to war anytime, is because we're fucking everyone else's simp.
Because the politicians tell us to.
It's not bad if we didn't.
Mm.
So
And that's
if I
another
believed in
thing.
all that,
Another thing Roland come out with, wasn't it? We've got to be seen to be doing this, or we'll look bad in the eyes of the world. You're the laughing fucking stock.
Yeah, but
now, mate.
isn't I think is it Norway that is generally impartial to all these wars?
Yes.
They don't look bad in front of the fucking world for saying, I'm not getting involved, mate. Fuck you. Nothing to do with me.
But it does look like they're going to join NATO.
Oh,
I
fuck's sake.
think they already are. I'm not sure.
Forced into it, no doubt, I reckon.
But no, during the war they were, but the Germans had a lot of things going in on there because that's where they had their heavy water plant that they were going to make the atomic bomb from.
Oh, Sweden, is it England? Oh, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah, I knew it was around that way somewhere. I'm not very good at geography.
Stephen the Queen nearly made it, except for the barbed wire. And contrary to belief, he didn't make that jump in the film. He did do the jump, but the one that was actually shown in the film was Bud.
like,
No, Bud Summit, his name was. It was a very good friend of his.
It was a stunt.
Yeah, it was his stunt man. Bud Atkins. That's it.
They wouldn't let him do the jump himself because it was deemed.
Yeah, but off camera, he did actually go and do it when there was no crew there. Yeah, he was a good mate of Steve McQueen's. He raced with him and all sorts in the desert. But yeah, that's one little myth that people don't seem to believe.
Yeah, Queen. Do you know what I think? Do you know the way I see it? Right, I see it as America's the bully, right? And the UK is one of those that doesn't want to get bullied by America, so they just go along with them.
Yeah, it's always been that way ever since the war. America always said Britain will always owe us for helping them out during the war. Well, financially, we finished paying them in 2018 on the war debt. The rest of it was written off. But even that shows back, even then, how corrupt the British government was. America was sending us loads and loads of aid after the war to build Britain back up. And half of it got sold to other fucking countries by the British government.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's why rationing lasted so long. It's
Yeah,
selling the
it's like when you get a present and you're like, yeah, I'd rather have the cash, thanks. So, can you send the receipts with those, please, America?
This is what
Send
I've
them
always
back.
said with foreign aid. It's all right, these people donating to these charities and foreign aid and giving our tax money away without our say, but it doesn't get to the fucking people that need it. The governments soak it up. The corrupt governments where it's sent.
Look, I mean, if you sorry guys, evening to all, but when
Hello, mate.
Biden says he's sending 150 billion to Ukraine, he's not. He's giving it all to rearm to the major industrial complex. Everything is fucking being sent there. So when he says I'm giving 150 billion to do this, what he's doing is cluster bombs are banned by the UN across the world, but suddenly it's okay in fucking Ukraine. It's okay in Ukraine. You know what I mean? Come on.
We're not allowed to use them, but we're going to send them to you.
Yeah, exactly. So all they've done is when they say that they've got 150 million that we're going to give to Ukraine, they don't. They give it to the military-industrial complex to rearm the American thing, and all the shit that we've got here, we'll just send over there. So don't get confused about when we say we are looking after Ukraine. They're getting rid of their crap.
Alistair, there's not that many in this country that worship the police. There are quite a few in America, but there again, when you think of the amount of people in America, there's a lot more turning against the American police now, especially where some places where they've actually defunded them. Yes, it's causing a lot of problems, but we're seeing the same problems here with a police force in place. So that just shows you how inept our fucking lot are, doesn't it?
I like the Israeli boys. I do like the Israeli boys. One protest and build a fence and get the fuck out.
That's a question I was going to ask you, Murph. We were talking about something earlier. Being as you're in Dubai, you're a bit closer to it. Out that way, how many, roughly, ballpark figure, desalination plants do the Saudis and that have to supply water?
It's a oh shit! Probably the easiest way I can answer that question is to show you my water bottle.
Yeah.
We don't trust the water.
Solar still.
So we have it. It has to be whatever.
Yeah, but like, if they built a desalination plant, will that feed like one city over there, or would it take 2 or 3? You know, it's just something I was thinking about earlier on. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you were talking about a desalination plant, if you were talking about it, that's one of my specialties is engineering, and it's about how you desalinate. You have got a major problem, and the major problem is on the manpower that you would actually turn around and you'd have to do it, because you've got to change the filters every single week. I used to look after when you were talking about salmonella last week, I used to look after the swimming pools in the UK and the council swimming pools in the UK. And I mean, Legionella was a major fucking issue. And if you're talking about water purification from salination, you're in a situation where you are literally changing filters daily.
Oh yeah. I was just wondering what one plant would supply, whether it'd be enough to supply a city. That's all.
Depends on the size of the plant. You know, if you look at the
Dubai, where do they get their water from?
Totally desalinized. But if I drive,
how many plants does it take to supply Dubai?
How much electricity does it take to supply the desalination plants is a bigger question, rather than
I'm not interested in the electricity. I'm interested in the water supply.
The water supply. Well, I mean, Dubai is an island. It's got.
Yeah, I know. It's a simple answer, mate. How many plants does it take to supply the city you live in? Is it 3, 4, 5, 1?
Do you not know?
Or do you not know?
I've said to you that I have a huge fucking and in Jebel Ali I've got a huge fucking supply plant. I don't know what it does. I've shown you.
Is that the only one that supplies Dubai?
It's the one that supplies the south end of Dubai. We've got another one over in Fujairah. We've got another one over in Ras Al Khaimah. We've got another one over. There are desalination plants.
It's multiple plants that supply Dubai. Then.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the question I wanted. That's the answer I wanted. It was just.
It's not one singular. No, it's not one singular. Sorry. I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. You know how efficient they were. Well, if it takes half a dozen to run a city.
Well, we actually use bottled water for drinking. We don't trust the water supply.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. Most countries are like that. Oh, hello. Chat disappeared again then. No, that's all I was interested in is basically how efficient are they. I haven't looked into the data or anything like that. I don't go that deep. I just use ballpark figures, that's all. But going back to that comment that I fucking took off of there now, I think it was Matrix put up about supplying out-of-date weapons to them. Yes, NATO does, to the point where Germany sidelined a load of munitions to send to the Ukraine
Yeah.
and their own forces and their own people refused to move them because they were that old and that unstable.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what though? I mean, you think about it, right? They're going to get rid. When there's a war, all these other countries can go right. We can get rid of all the shit that we don't want, and
Exactly. Yeah.
then we have the country that we're sending it to then has to pay us afterwards.
Exactly. And BlackRock have moved in already to substantiate Ukraine's debt.
And
Mm.
It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam.
you look at the hoo-ha it's causing that the Russians managed to destroy a Challenger tank. One.
Oh, wow.
Hi,
Wow.
Queenie. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm all right.
Just testing your audio and that out. Make sure there's no loops.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm on my mobile anyway, so
Oh, it's not too bad.
Awesome.
Then I see.
I'm
You're
too.
sounding amazing. You're sounding amazing, Stitch. You're sounding amazing.
Hi, Murph. You alright, bud?
How you doing, Cubs? How are the Cubs?
They're doing great. Thank you very much.
Top notch. Top notch.
How about
Yes,
you and
England.
yours?
Sorry, girls. That was the first time that a Challenger's ever been destroyed. They have destroyed one in training, but they didn't let any details out on that. But they're a bit pissed about it, to say the least. It's supposed to be their premier armoured mobile, as it were.
Right, I just want to say, sorry, Roger. I just want to say, Queenie, don't take this the wrong way. I need to get off, and the only reason I'm saying don't take this the wrong way is because you've literally just come on, and I need
That's
to piss
fine.
off. So I don't want you to think it's because you've come on.
No, don't. I don't care. Like, if you need to go, you need to go.
So yeah, Roger, I've got to get off. I've got some things I need to do, and I need to get
Yeah,
some
no
sleep,
worries,
mate.
mate.
Take care of yourself, mate. Take care of yourself, mate. All right, look
I will
after
catch
See you
you all
later, Dad.
later.
See you later,
All right.
Pap.
Speak to you all soon. See you now.
Bye,
Mate.
Dad.
Ta-ra, Rog.
I'll message you after.
Yeah, he's been quite busy. He's got a lot on and what have you, and he's back in touch with some family again as well. So he's, you know,
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. I was just thinking about him the
It's
other day.
really great, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is good. It's really good. You know, I don't know whether honestly, I don't talk bad about the man because he's a lovely man. You know, but you just see he had that epiphany, and he had the epiphany, and he actually turned around and he started to realise he needs to make connections, and he's made connections, and he's done it. And I think that's amazing.
yeah. I see you tried to go live again the other day, Murph.
Oh no! Do you know what I was doing? I was testing YouTube. So I didn't even plug in a camera. I didn't plug in anything. I was testing to see because I was fighting with Yellow. You know, I use a Yellow box. So I was fighting with a Yellow box. I said, look, I'm going to go live now. And if you don't turn around, and if you don't, I had nothing plugged in, no cameras, no mics, no nothing, and I just pure blank. And bang.
Your audio's breaking up there at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah,
Shit.
And they're doing a little bit of robot.
but it's still
Robot?
better than mine was in the week because nothing worked here.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so I did a test live without any camera or microphone, just pure black. And I got more likes on my live for doing that than I have done when I've actually spoken.
Oh, there you go. You found a niche.
I've nailed it. I know what I do. I go live once a week. I had Miss Cat fucking messaging me. Everyone messaging me. You haven't got your camera put on. I said, I know I haven't got my camera put on. I'm just.
Oh, I saw it come up, but then there was about 15 seconds with one.
That's
view.
it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know what's going on there. I'm not even going to look into it.
Exactly. No, I was just testing it. And it was a case that what was interesting though is I got a green tick on my YouTube. as I was going live. And I went, I've never had that before.
Yeah, that's where we go through the StreamYard. We only use YouTube as an outlet, as it were. Our lives are actually transmitted on StreamYard onto YouTube, and then YouTube, and that's why there's a delay on them.
But I understand the delay, but it's the first time I got a green tick on my.
Thank you, Rob.
I think it might have been from my other live stream that they deleted where I had a quiet word.
Yeah, it's getting bad over here now. I've been getting notifications every day on the laptop. For some reason, I ain't been getting the notifications on this computer, but they have been coming through on the laptop. And I've had them most days saying YouTube is updating this platform in the background, and it keeps coming up. So what they're playing, but everything's all over the frigging place. It really is. The alerts. Well,
I always want to be alert. I'm always destined to be alert.
I trained as one.
One
I always want to be alert. What do you want to be in life? I want to be alert.
Britain needed alerts.
Excuse me, I now have a new co-host, by the way, for the live streams. Meet Putin. You can see him. You can see him there.
What the fuck is that?
That is a Japanese fighting fish. And Putang is Tagalog because it's a Filipino who brought me this last night. My wife brought me this last night. He said, "What are we going to call this fish?" I said, "I want to fish." I said, "What the fuck do I want to fish for?" I don't want to fish. 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 So anyway, I'm going to fish. So his name is Putang.
I haven't heard from her for a while. We fell out a little while back, and I don't bother going there anymore, mate.
Who's that cat?
Don't like being psychoanalyzed.
Is that cat?
Yeah.
Nothing
against the woman, nothing against her, but what she does and the way she runs her channel is not for me, mate. That's all.
She unsubscribed me. She unsubscribed me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just got ruined for me. So I'll say that and leave it there. I won't say any more because you start running people down on here or saying anything, it gets used against you. Someone will screenshot it, record it, and straight away they're off causing drama with it. So it's easier not to say anything.
That's all Friday is about.
Yeah. I don't have it in here. Last week there was 1 or 2 started and they carried on after a warning, so they were kicked. And we've started to do the same on Pack Lives now as well. We're
and you kicked me when I've been over the mark. So that's the way it works.
Yeah, we had one tried to come in on Sunday, wouldn't identify himself in the back room. I never show my face. Well, then, you don't get on. Simple as you play by the rules of the channel. You know, there's certain people that Dan will flick straight up because he knows us.
Yeah.
And he can tell by just what we're looking at and what we're doing that it's us. Same as I do in here. But believe me, even when people like yourselves drop in, my cursor is over the button just in case.
Yes, damn right. Yeah. No problem.
Well, that's why I left my camera on.
Yeah. You don't have to, sweetheart. As long as I can see you in the back room and you can turn your camera off before I put you on the screen, it's not a problem.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I dabble on Twitch, so I've put my ugly mug on the internet plenty of times.
No one is ugly. No one is ugly. We are unique.
Yeah, cursed.
In the video, there is.
Don't you start.
Don't start talking crap then.
Exactly.
Starting to see, and I had to put this out as like a security thing. But the names that people are commenting with aren't the ones that they're using. It's nothing to do with them. It is actually an update that YouTube did, but I just said it because I wanted to warn people that it was coming up with their real names,
you.
not their usernames. You can go in and change it, so your username is back in there. But when your comment comes up, it will come up with your real name. To the point last week where I actually deleted one because I know the person and I didn't want to see it in there, so I deleted it.
Rog, can I ask you a question?
Hey?
Did you provide ID to YouTube?
No, just an email.
I provided ID to YouTube because I was in the UAE and they said, you're under.
Has someone got another device on in the background there? I can hear a little bit of an echo.
That's probably-
I might be. I'll go in the other room. Might be Little Stitch. He's watching TV. Well, not so Little Stitch because everyone's bigger than me. But yeah,
That's not difficult.
show your face, you.
No, it's only I hear things a bit more because I've got a set of stereo speakers under the monitor.
It probably is me again because of the AC.
No,
Is that
it's
better?
It's stopped now.
Yeah, it's me then. It's always me, innit?
Yeah, it was
Causing
Italian.
trouble.
What can we do without you? What can we do without you, baby? Come on. You know.
We get it all the time on a Sunday night. People forget to turn the other feed off or turn another device off. Even the regulars that I've done it by mistake, myself. It's an easy thing to forget, especially if you're running multiple devices and shit like that. But all this is helping me to multitask.
Oh, that's good.
But it's very
Will you get your balls cut off then?
set up to
Will you
adjust
lose your balls?
the mic and what it picks up.
What?
I said in a normal setup like phone and headphones, you can't adjust what the mic picks up.
No.
Pick up all the background noise as well, unfortunately.
That's it. See, with this one, I can set all the settings to cut out background echo. And
It
stuff like that.
it literally is me because of the
I've got
AC.
the
that's behind.
laptop there, which I had on most days as well. And of course, I'll get an alert there that will reverberate through here. Then I'll get an alert here or not. Then my phone will give me the same alert. And I'm like, oh, hang on a minute here. But is the chat frozen up again then?
No, nobody's talking to me.
Oh, they're all listening.
No, nobody's talking to you.
Well, I talk to myself an awful lot.
Test, yeah. If we never hear you, AC. No, I think the first time you tried to go live and a couple of times on Dan, we could hear it, but I haven't heard it today.
I don't know. Every now and again, there's a whining sound. And I can hear it. It's like a low whining sound, and I can
That
hear
might
it,
be that.
but not today. Yeah, you know.
Sometimes it's louder than others. Man.
Yeah,
We
it's.
understand you can't live without it, so
I mean, this is the first time I've
Mr.
needed.
W, I can't live without you either.
bless you.
But talking of wind, we got this thing now with the wind farms here, haven't we?
Ugh.
I mean, I've got a theory on it, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy anymore. Yeah, Jorge, keep taking these notes, mate. You'll like this one. Afternoon, Beardy. Yeah, now they've opened up the sea for offshore wind farms quite some time back, but nobody's interested in building them and putting the finances into them.
I wonder
Now, they
why.
said because they didn't get any bids. You have to bid on how much and what you're going to do. Now, mainstream media are saying that there hasn't been any bids. Well, there have. But the government have set a level of which below they will not accept a bid, like it's a reserve, as it were, at an auction. And there have been bids, but they've been well below that reserve price. But now he's opened up to onshore wind farms. Now, I think that is simply because he's getting no interest in the offshore ones. He wants to dip the wit in the onshore to see if they'll invest in that. Because don't forget, all these people that are buying these wind farms, building them, whatever, they're all foreign investors. None of them are from this country. Now,
So,
if they don't bid on the onshore ones because the regulations are being relaxed, all they're going to get is these ones where a community want to put a windmill up, or individual in the back garden if it doesn't interfere with anybody else, or an industrial estate. I don't think they'll get any big onshore wind farms built. I think it's just a smokescreen because they didn't get any orders on the other one.
can I interject?
Yeah.
In Scotland, they've done hydro farms where the fountains are coming down to the thing. So they've generated, and there's a whole community in Scotland that has never paid electricity.
Yeah.
There are ways that we can actually do this thing. You know, it's a case that if you look at the amount they need energy to actually make the windmill fucking turn. The wind doesn't do it. They need to actually energize it to make it turn. And they're spending more diesel to make these turbines turn than and going out and every day filling it up, getting the generator started, getting the blades. They're so bloody big. They have to go this full circle.
Well, the other thing is you've got the fact that most of it can't be recycled.
All the blades can't be recycled.
And most of the parts have to be replaced on a regular basis.
And
they also use...
I'm in the business of replacing blades. So, this blade has got a split in it, so I'm going to replace this blade. That's going to cost you 100,000 if I can do them. And I'll do this, and I'll change a new blade. Oh, I've found another little crack here. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to change this.
Yeah, but they don't break down. They're not recyclable. They've got to be stored. All the used ones have got to be stored because they're unrecyclable. They don't break down.
Yeah.
So it's not a renewable, and it is going to end up costing more.
That's
But
why
the other problem, the reason the government don't like normal plebs like me or you or anybody else getting hold of these wind turbines, shall I say, you know, the domestic ones that you'd use to run a couple of homes on, is because of the amount of electricity that you can sell back to them when you're not using the power. Therefore, you're not buying through them because they'll lose out the bigger tax on the energy companies because you're not buying from them to supply it.
Well, let's start making
This
blades.
is why they've stopped people doing the off-grid living in America and shit. Very
Queenie, was that you? Stitch coughing, or was it Queenie?
No, it's not me. I think it was Roger's
Stitch.
wife.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you there, Mr. W. Mr. W, pack it in, girl.
well, Jorge, people have demanded change for a long, long time through democracy, and it ain't fucking worked.
Democracy? What is democracy? Please explain.
Democracy is a myth.
Exactly. Democracy, my ass.
It doesn't exist. You might think you're voting, but you're not, because if you voted and it made a difference, they wouldn't let you fucking do it.
Same. Sim. What, you want to vote Conservative? Sim. You want to vote?
And it's a real way out there thing to say, but I would not be at all surprised at some point in the future to see the Tories and Labour align and go in as, what do they call them? When you get two or three parties together.
Coalition.
That's
Coalition.
it, coalition. Thank you. I just saw
You're
you
welcome.
say that. Keisha, thank you, sweetheart. Yes, I do get lost for words sometimes. I am slightly dyslexic as well.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, their policies seem to be coming in line in so many places and so many different areas. Still a lot of differences, but there's quite a bit there that's aligning. Bit of
The
sweet.
Labour, Keir Starmer the other day turned round and he has brought back into he did his little readjustment of the, and he's brought all the Blairites back. Everyone that worked for Blair, he wants them because he needs them because they're good at turning around and saying, giving you policy. Let's give you a policy today. Let's work on policy. We do policy well. And
They're trying to get their voters back because of what happened with Corbyn.
Exactly. Yeah. They fucked it.
The wet lettuce that he was.
Yes, Beardy, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in the house. That was 2 asses, 2 cheeks of the same ass.
Brilliant. I saw that.
If I can,
Absolutely cracking.
Keir Starmer said that the country was being run by a bunch of cowboys. I said London's being run by the Indians, and they're the bloody cowboys.
Well, do you know what was interesting to me this week? It was the fact that we have an Indian non-elected Prime Minister going off to India on a tour and saying, we're not giving any visas.
Yeah.
We're not giving any visas.
When they interviewed Khan, Dictator Khan, as I call him, Carnage. Call him Khan.
I call him can't. You can take that any way you want to mix it.
How he can stand in front of the camera and say he wasn't the reason that Labour lost the seat in London, that Londoners are fully behind him. This is what Londoners want. Oh, and by the way, the white people of London, we don't give a fuck about. And
I know that.
He's popular.
You know, it's like the Birmingham City Council. They're turning around now and they're trying to blame it all on the left wing, and they were left. But by this conversation, we're right wing. What happened to centrists? What happened to just being normal? Just being.
Well, we're on the blunt end of that now because we're under the Birmingham Council here. Well, you're only going to get essential services. Well, most areas around here, you don't even fucking get that.
You don't get any services. Yeah, I know. We need Mrs. W. We need Mrs. W in the house. Mrs. W, get to work, lazy bitch.
No.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it hasn't affected us at the moment. Well, we've been waiting for maintenance on the house for fucking years. So it looks like we're just going to have to wait a bit longer. But
10 years on the roof?
Yeah, but the thing is, I haven't heard nothing about this locally until it was announced. I knew they were getting run down and over budget, but I didn't think they'd gone down that far.
So I'll give you 2 hopes.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a feeder line. 2 hopes.
It's
Bob Hope, no hope. Bob Hope, no hope. That's the 2 hopes.
We got Last Hope here as well, the Good Hope Hospital. We always call that Last Hope.
Or No Hope.
Or No Hope, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, it's like where, like the area that I live in is Northamptonshire, and our umbrella council was totally dissolved.
Yeah.
And now we are called Northants.
Right, you're talking about the
because money was going missing left, right, and centre. Now my uncle, God rest his soul, he passed away a couple of years ago, but he used to be a council plumber, and he saw loads of different people passing around brown envelopes full of cash, putting them in people's back pockets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jorge,
I can
yes,
testify.
I
I can
do have
testify.
children. I have two. They're both grown up, so they're not going to grow up in this world. They're both in their 40s, mate.
Now, if I can tell you just a little story. I was working for a company. I was working for a company, and I was looking after all the benefits agencies in the UK. And one day, and all I was doing was just looking at light bulbs. I was saying, what I'll do is I want to standardise all the light bulbs across the whole of the benefits agencies. Want to do this, want to do that, want to do that. And one guy walked up to me one day and he went, "Oh, come for lunch." And I went, "Okay, let's go for lunch." Went for lunch and he came back and he went, "Oh, by the way, that's your car." I went, "What?" He went, "That's your car." I said, "It's not my fucking car. I'm interested in light bulbs." Do that. It is rife. It is rife, and that's I'm talking back in the 90s here. It was rife. It was absolutely rife. Was the brand new Lexus? Lexus hadn't even been in the country 2 days, and they turned up and said, "Oh, take that car home with you." I said, "No, I don't. No. If you ever look at a light bulb, I know the company and I know them, and I still think it's absolutely disgraceful. But yeah,
Right, I'm just going to have to nip out and get a cold drink. I will be back momentarily.
Stitch, you're in the house, Stitch. Come on. You haven't said anything today.
Pardon?
You haven't said anything today. Come on, get in. What's the most interesting thing you did today, apart from the cups?
Can't say.
What?
Yeah, can't say.
Nice, Stitch.
Pardon?
You sound happy. You sound in a good mood.
I am more than happy.
Good.
Oh, look at you. Amazing.
Well, that's what
Well
we like to do. Glad you're in a good place.
More than happy.
Oh,
Which is nice
please.
for a change.
Agent X, good afternoon, sweetheart. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to leg it to the front door. There was a delivery.
As you do.
The only
You
time I
can't
get
really-
that is when Heather goes shopping.
You can't be a smoothie on YouTube. Life happens.
Yeah, so the GMP, they're way out of control now. Even more so than they were. Oh, some cold energy drink. You can't beat it. The only thing I need now is for the Americans, this is a cigarette. We call it a fag. Well, just YouTube's that bloody ridiculous.
I know. It's deplorable. It's ridiculous because it's free speech. It's meant to be free speech, and we don't have free choice even.
I like putting comments to the fact checkers when I see them. Go and buy a fucking dictionary. Yeah. Look up the meaning, but from this word. Try putting it in this context. I mean, it's the bots, I know that, but with the work they're doing now, by the looks of things, it's only going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, Twitch has gotten quite bad for that as well.
Yeah,
There is so much coming at us that you don't even realise. What was it? Someone got a 22 years for not being there. One of the brother boys, he wasn't even there. He got 22 years for sedition.
I mean, they've been plugging ages that modern tech, AI, they're more or less telling people of my age, look, you've got to learn this, get back to work, you've got to learn the tech, it's the way ahead. And as I said the other day, great, you learn something, and by the time you learnt it, which someone in the older age, their learning capacity is a little bit slower. By the time you've learnt it, they've changed it, so you still can't do anything. You've got to go and learn it all again.
If you actually look at what life is, and we are most of us are elderly here, and we've learned the lesson the hard way.
I mean, yeah, I didn't learn it when it first came out, and that there was reasons for it. I just weren't interested in it. I thought it was too much of an intrusion back then. I mean, it took me years just to even think about a mobile phone. It took me even longer to learn how to use it. But I realised, look, I've got to learn because it's the only way we're going to have communication and going to be able to do things. So I thought, I've got to learn it.
Until somebody knocks out our satellites.
Yeah, but I like dial up.
But they seem to put everything in your way of using it. Like I'm doing things now when I'm on the internet doing my regular shit, where I used to press a button twice or press 2 different buttons. Now, to do the same thing, I've got to go through half a dozen processes and press maybe a dozen buttons. They overcomplicating it. And they can't say it's about security because it's not. And the computer still does exactly the same as it did when I used to press 2 buttons.
I mean, I am looking into getting myself a PC, but it's going to be fun because I am computer illiterate.
Alistair, sorry, sweetheart. Alistair, we don't usually talk about things like that. I know it's part of history. I know a lot of the history about it, but that's not for this stream. That's not why we do this on a Friday. Or I do.
Going back to learning about internet and
if you guys want to talk about it in the chat, go right ahead, but keep it respectful because you will get timed out and you will get booted if you start attacking each other.
Oh, you haven't met Holly yet? You haven't met Holly yet? Holly?
Discuss it. No, Holly's not here today. She's out
Got
today.
to deal with me.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Oh no, she's just out for the day. She's taken a step back from the internet now and
Good
again.
girl, good girl, good girl, good girl.
Taking a bit of time in her life
I love
rather than a life online, as it were.
As you said about being illiterate on computers, don't be ever.
Yeah, sorry about that, Alistair. It's the sort of thing we don't discuss on here. That's all, mate. No disrespect by that.
Free courses. There are free courses for internet. If you don't understand the computer, you can take advantage of the free courses.
Yeah.
Don't turn around and don't say I don't know, because that's not going to help you. You have to know. You have to know, and it's a case of they are free courses, and I promise you, I will.
Oh yeah, well that's how I learned initially. I was not on YouTube, but Heather showed me how to get on her computer so I could watch YouTube because I used to watch me motor racing videos. We progressed a bit from that where she got me into eBay because it was easier for me to order my own parts for the bikes when I wanted them. But that was my total knowledge. And of course, when I was recovering from the bypass, I had to go and sign on. And they said, well, you've got to do this online, that online. I said, well, I can't. I said, well, why not? I said, well, I wouldn't know how to do it. I don't know how to use the computer. I said, well, why? I said, well, it can't gut fish and it can't cut grass. I've never bloody needed it. So why would I learn to use it? So, yeah, they sent me on a few weeks free courses.
You don't do that. You don't do this. Yeah. But it's a necessity there.
They paid for me to go on the courses to the a local college actually in Birmingham itself. Paid for me transport and everything else. And I finished top of the class.
Boom.
You know, it was.
Boom.
And all they taught you to do was how to put together CVs, and what was that office thing? Was it
PowerPoint presentation?
PowerPoint presentation and shit like that. And that was where I started. The rest of it,
So it
more or
didn't
less,
work then. It didn't work.
So you got early brain.
I've been into computers since I was 16, and I used to send the paper tape to.
Jorge, most people wouldn't know about them, to be honest. It's pointless asking questions like that in here.
We don't
Those
have
that know,
American history.
we don't talk about that.
Hey, Mrs. W, I think you are like a sharp knife in a scissor drawer.
Sharp knife in a scissor drawer.
Yes.
Oh, we keep the scissors in the sharp knife drawer.
It means you put your hand in, and you put your hand in, and there might be you might get cut.
Well, to be honest, most of my sharp knives are always within arm's reach.
You know, like what you were saying about like people like learning stuff. Like it makes me think like of my dad. Like, I mean, he's not here anymore,
Right,
but
Alec,
when he had
Jorge,
to go,
if you continue to ask the same question in the chat, they will be removed and you will be timed out initially. I'm classing that as spamming now. I've told you we're not interested, and I'm not interested in talking about it. So it's pointless putting my name in the front of every fucking comment, all right? Because it's pissing me off.
Carry on.
You've been warned, guys. Sorry. I've dropped a couple of hints, but you obviously haven't taken them.
Stick.
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're all right. You're all right. I was gonna say like my dad had like really struggled in school, and obviously he would be in his late 60s now, and he didn't do very well in school, bless him, because I think he had like a lot of learning difficulties and stuff like that. And when he got his job that he really loved doing, he had to go for a course, and he was so proud of himself when he passed it. I'm thinking of all the new things they're doing now. There's no way that he'd be able to do that, and that's such a shame because he's really good at what he did. And there's other
Damn
people like that that really struggle, and it's really sad to
Damn
think
right.
that they might not be able to do what they're going to do because of all these new things that they have to kind of do to get these jobs. So this
Yeah, so
Crazy,
making
isn't it?
computers mandatory.
Exactly. Look, it's not about making it mandatory. It's about taking pride in who we are, taking pride in yourself, taking pride in. Look, Roger turns around, he says, bang, he says it straight out. He says, bang, I had to learn computers. I didn't have a fucking didn't have a clue.
Didn't.
And he then turns around and it's about, if Roger didn't have a clue, how would we all be here now?
Yeah.
Because he went
The
and learned.
reason
And he
I've
went and learned.
progressed this far is because of help from Heather and people like Dan, the Rev, God bless the UK.
I know, but you still learn. You still learn how to use the internet. We've got Mrs. W, you got yourself, you got everyone. We've still learned how to do it. Shit. I do a live stream every week that lasts about 15 seconds. Come on.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed since I've learned it, and it has opened my eyes up to a wider world than I always knew that was there. But a lot of it that I've been seeing, I'm not liking, and I've seen how it can be abused. And I've always said social media will be its own death.
Social media is a cesspool.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't say that I haven't learned through it. And obviously I've learned to use it up to the level I am now. And I do want to progress a bit more. Not because I want to open websites and do anything like that. It's just, if I come on here, not on the live streams, because as I say, same as Dan, I keep my live streams separate from my videos. But on my videos, if I can open one pair of eyes a week to what's going on, to me, that's worthwhile doing. That's worthwhile me putting that 10-minute video together and what's involved and putting it out. If I can open one pair of eyes a day with a video, I'm happy. I'm not interested in making money. That's why I said I never wanted a bigger channel where it's monetized and shit like that. I'm not here to make money. And I continue to do it because I enjoy it. And I enjoy it that much. That's why I started to learn how to do live streams. You know, I can reach, most of the guys in here that come in here are the same ones that watch my videos. But on occasion, we do get a few more that have dropped in, and I have had notification where they've shared me videos, and you know, and I might get one sub a week going up. But that one sub is another set of eyes open, unless it's a troll, obviously. But
yeah, I had a lot of trolls because obviously I'm over on Twitch as well. So it's I play a lot of computer games. And you've obviously heard of the controversy surrounding the game Hogwarts Legacy.
I've heard about it. I haven't heard about it. But
Well, there was supposed to be this big, massive boycott because of who owns the name.
yeah.
And I lost about, I don't know, 7 or 8 followers, and all I could do was laugh.
Well, I lose two followers a week. I lose 2 followers a week, so it doesn't. Come on, you know, easy. It's easy.
I thought to myself, well, this is my channel. If you don't like me playing a certain game, go somewhere else.
yeah,
Bugger off.
Seriously. Don't judge your life on whether you have 1 or 2. You lose 1, you lose.
Oh yeah, I know. I just found it hilarious.
No. Look, we're peculiar. We do this for a reason. And sometimes we get into the slot. Sometimes we can find groups of people that can actually turn around and converse with each other. And that's what you don't get with gaming. You don't get that with gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk to each other with a headphone and a mic, but you don't get it. You don't get a visual. I mean, Stitch, I know why she doesn't put a camera up, and I don't know why you don't put your camera up. So
I did have my camera up earlier, but this I basically stay with my mum, and this house is very run down. So
no one touches you.
You know.
And I look like a sack of shit today because one, it was really hot today.
I look like a sack of shit every day.
It's really hot today, and also as well, I got a bit upset earlier, so I don't really want to show my face because I probably look right.
Well, if you're naked behind the camera to keep cool, just.
Jesus Christ! I'd probably stick to my computer.
I promise you, we will watch.
Oh no! Honestly, I'd probably stick to my computer chair.
I think the computer's nothing now.
I mean, quite often we've sat here, and when we had that last bit of a nice weather, shall we say, we were sat here one afternoon. I said I was going live, and Heather got up and jumped upstairs. I said, where are you going then? And of course, where the camera looks there, sometimes if it's a bit further that way, you can see more of her. And where she sat there, you could see straight under the table. Because she was keeping cool. I hadn't noticed. You'd think I would.
Oh, you coming.
Yeah, but even that gets me going at times, doesn't it? You know, I'm the sort of guy that will kiss each tit, move down, kiss the belly, go down, kiss the kneecaps and the feet. And all
I like flossing.
You wouldn't have fucking missed it.
I Hello,
Pop
sausage.
it's only 5:38. You're already going down that way.
You're outrageous.
Not in this weather anyway.
Oh dear.
You're outrageous, Dick.
Pardon?
You're outrageous.
Yeah, I didn't mean anything by Alec and Jorge and guys in there. It's just that when, as Heather said, once you keep highlighting or tagging me, that's all I see in the chat, and it does get annoying. And as I say, those sort of topics, they're for other channels. We come in here on a Friday to have a bit of a laugh. We talk about things that are relevant, obviously, but not in a too serious way most of the time. Only because most of it is relevant to us in the UK, and apparently some of you guys aren't in the UK.
Oh, we got continental.
I don't follow a lot of American politics simply because I have enough understanding our own, let alone understanding theirs. I have opinions on headlines or stories that I see. That's about it as far as it goes over there. All I try and do is put out the corruption and the underhanded way they're doing things here in the UK, and what it actually means to us that they're doing it too. As a normal person who at the moment is living on benefits because I can't work, so I'm at the blunt end of it as well. Mm-hmm. So, I see it from the same perspective as a lot of people in the UK, but again, from a different perspective to others. My usual style, as you know, is I'll say something, bring a story up that I've seen, and then sit there and take the piss out of it for 10 minutes.
I live in Dubai, but I worry about my grandchild that lives in the UK. I worry about my son that lives in the UK. I worry about my other son that lives in the UK. I worry about my daughter that is in and out of the UK. I worry about my ex-wife. And they're getting fucked. They're getting fucked by everyone. So the reason why my channel is to say, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The way you run your debates and what have you on your channel, that would be the perfect place to have a debate on some of the subjects they were bringing up there, because you're well versed in that.
Yeah, I do geopolitics. I do geopolitics rather than. I
know about the American Civil War and stuff like that, and particularly in and around the swine flu shit back then, because I did research that for a project and a couple of videos. Yes, I do know some of the history of the American Civil War and the War of Independence and all that, but it's not a topic that I cover or debate or even talk about usually. It's just some knowledge that I know. And to be honest, you don't often get asked about it, so fair play, guys.
I know. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, it is a pain in the ass. But I've been spending 4 weeks now understanding what BRICS is, and BRICS is actually going to kill the fucking dollar. And it's the first time it's ever happened. And so before I can talk about it, I've had to research it for 4 weeks. BRICS. What is BRICS? What it's going to do? And when the dollar collapses, then the economy collapses as we know it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does affect our finances over here, obviously, because Wall Street does a lot of dealing in this country.
Just give you a basic. India paid UAE oil in Indian rupees, not UK. not US
Same
dollars.
as Russia takes different currencies and charges different rates if you're buying their coal and gas at the moment. If you're
Exactly. It's the BRICS. It's the BRICS. 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 Just have a look at it, guys. Just have a look at it. See what's going on.
and the reason some of the companies are buying coal in rupees is because the Russians selling it to India first, and then selling it on. So of course India wants paying in rupees.
Well, you know, Kobe is one of the most dangerous men in the world. If you look at every premier in the world, he's about 5 foot fucking tall. So you take Kobe, then go to Macron, then go to you take every look at all the small men in the world.
Yes, Napoleon syndrome.
And the Napoleon syndrome, yes,
little man
exactly.
syndrome.
Napoleon syndrome. Every single one of them are small little men.
Even dickhead over in Canada. Even he's
Yeah.
another little
Yeah.
short one.
Trudeau.
Zelensky's bloody midget.
Trudeau.
Yeah, the safe space communities that he's creating over there.
Oh, is that the 15-minute city?
hmm
Yes, Alistair. He works for the feds. He does take notes. I don't know why, because it's easier just to go back and watch the stream through because I don't delete them. They're all up on my channel. I don't think I've ever deleted one of the streams. They've always been posted.
Sick.
And it is simply because the same as Dan does. If you take it down, the first thing people are going to do is accuse you of hiding something. Because I always stand by what I say, unless I apologise, I'm quite happy to
Unfortunately,
leave
it's
it
a treasonable. Treasonable now. It's treasonable offence.
Yeah, bring it on.
It's not.
Hello, Murph.
There's far more of them deserve to be dragged through Traitors Gate than I do.
Free speech has actually been turned around now, and it's actually it was first time classed yesterday as an imprisonable offence.
Stuart, a little while back, I can say it on here because it's nothing to do with us. We actually did have our version of the feds in here. And the first question they asked on seeing my computer set up here was, oh, we're intrigued by this, but they hadn't actually come to see me. They'd come to see Heather. We had the NCA round, the National Crime Agency. It was an appointment, and they explained what it was for. I won't go into details, obviously. So I didn't have any problem with them coming round. You know, I wasn't involved. Anything like that. It was work related. It was a fraud case. Nothing to do with Heather. She was just a possible witness. But they came round. The first thing he did was ask me to get the cat out of the room. I fuck off. It's its home. If you don't want to sit near it, sit on one of the chairs up there. And he sat up by the window the other end.
If you're allergic, fuck off. If you're allergic, fuck off.
He's like, I'm intrigued by all this. And I said, well, I run a YouTube channel and I'm connected to a few others. And he said, well, what sort of things do you do? I said, well, we cover police corruption, government corruption, and it all. And then they gave Heather the interview, which I always said I'm sitting in on, obviously dealing with the police, but if there's anything said or accused, I'm a witness to it, you know. And they didn't refuse that. They couldn't. I was allowed to do that by law. And but he kept looking around because what I'd done, I got some little spy cameras and stuff. I had spy cameras dotted around the place. I had one over here recording. And he was just so fucking nervous. And as soon as the interview had finished, I started questioning him on the channel paddlers and certain other big cases that were going off at the time. And he just like, nope, can't tell you. I haven't got anything to say. I was trying to actually interview him, and he knew damn well I was filming. But,
Actually, you forgot to turn the cameras on.
yeah, the one that was supposed to pick up most of it, the closest one to him, I'd set to take intermittent pictures rather than record.
Ah,
So you got like 2 frames at each,
fuck.
and then
It's
the
like,
next one to be there. And then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But he knew damn well I was filming. He knew damn well. But yeah, I didn't have a problem with him being here. If it had been connected to me or something about the channel or something like that, then no, I'd never allowed him in the place. But because it wasn't concerning us, and it was quite a serious case as far as I can remember, a lot of money involved. That's what it was over. But I won't go into details on that, obviously. But yeah, it was quite amusing. But I mean, we get them come past here all the time, never on foot because we're on the main emergency route for the cars. Berlin, yeah, London is lost, mate. It's gone, and it looks like Birmingham's the next one on the ladder, the way it's going. You know, they've slowly split everybody up, as we've known, and now they're going after individual cities, aren't they, basically? Helped by Khan to start with. But, yeah, always film them, Alistair. If any interaction with the police whatsoever, even if you see them doing something in public that you don't think is right, always film them. They will hassle you, but they can't stop you.
can I say something on that?
Yep.
What we've got now, we've got people getting their life kicked out of them. The life kicked out of them in front of people, and all they're doing is standing there and videoing it. It's on camera, it's on camera, it's on camera. The police are turning around and going, "Oh, if you've got a ring camera footage, there was sexual assault in the yard today, and we want footage." What happened to where we interject and say, "You're not doing that, motherfucker"?
People won't. People won't. For the same reason they wouldn't go and help the coppers before. Because the coppers will turn round, or the victim who's being dealt with by the coppers will turn around and claim you were out of order and they sue you. So people don't get involved. Same as helping people in an accident. So
Do you remember?
sued
Do you remember the guy who drove his van into the terrorists in? I think it was actually Birmingham. Actually, I think it was Birmingham or somewhere, Bromsgrove or somewhere like that.
It was Coventry.
Coventry, and he drove the van in, and the police arrested him.
Mm.
Or maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
But most people won't get involved nowadays. They're frightened of it. Alistair, would I ever move out of Britain? No.
At the state of the world, no.
It's my country. I was born in here, and I'll die here. One way or the other, I will die here.
Now, before we go, totally fine.
I did go abroad for a little while working in Spain for a season, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Before we go, right, wait. If you remember the London Bridge incident,
Yeah.
where there was an ex-con there. There's an ex-con there, and he was an Arab, and he's an ex-con, and he turned around and he battered this one. He battered the knife out there.
There are people that will fight back, but most of the sheep won't. People are too frightened of having it turned round on them, mate. You go in and report a crime, 9 times out of 10 now, they'll turn around and try and accuse you of fucking doing something wrong. And that's why people don't want to get involved.
I suppose so.
You know?
I suppose so. Yeah, I know. Look, I don't live in the UK. You know, I live in Dubai. I honestly don't know what's going on there at the moment. I try and keep up.
Gang related, you stand up. All of a sudden, you're not just helping suppress one person. You've got a whole gang to deal with.
Well, what happened to county lines? County lines was the big issue. County lines was the big issue. Suddenly, county lines don't exist anymore.
If you stand up
county lines means nothing.
It doesn't matter where you live. They will come round. They will kick your fucking door in, and they will kick the 7 bells out of you. It doesn't matter where you live, who you are. You pick on one gang member, the whole gang will come looking for you. That's how bad it's got here. And they're carrying machetes now. It's not pool cues and baseball bats anymore. They're carrying knives and machetes.
And there's a lot more firearms on our streets now as well.
Yep. And the police are just
Really?
letting it happen.
Seriously?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep.
You've only got to look at some of the videos on YouTube from over here.
Yep.
Look at the number of people shot just in Birmingham, in Wolverhampton.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
You've only got to look at the carnival in
When I talk about Birmingham, when I talk about Wolverhampton, do I talk about?
You're talking about everywhere, mate. You're talking about everywhere. The only places that are free from it are little hamlets out in the countryside.
Mhm.
I mean, you look at the carnival in London. You've got blokes running past the police, chasing people with 3-foot machetes in front of the fucking police.
I know, and yeah. I saw that.
It's
And there is
I live in
shit
the
like that
Philippines.
going
I live-
on in just about every major city in this country.
I live in the Philippines, and I've got 2 7mm Glocks there, and I've got my old sniper rifle. I've got everything that I need to actually
Yeah,
protect
well, we're
my.
not allowed anything like that, see?
I know.
We're
I
not
know.
allowed
That's the reason why I
We're
moved to
not
the
allowed
Philippines.
to
It's still in the
do that.
UK. Yes, I know.
If someone attacked me with a machete and I run back in and get a knife and go out to defend myself with that knife, who's
You'd
the
be
police
guilty.
to arrest?
You'd be guilty.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I saw it in Bristol many years ago. A bloke that lived down the road from me had a nice motor, and there was half a dozen lads out there just leant all over his motor talking. Well, you've got jeans on, you're going to scratch the paintwork. You lean against it, you're going to put dents in it. So he went out and very politely said, "Look, lads, do you mind not leaning on my motor?" And they started giving him a kicking. During this kicking, he spat at one of them, probably inadvertently as he was swearing with it. But he took a couple of them out, and the next thing, they ripped a panel off of his fence and knocked him unconscious with it. Who do you think the police arrested? They arrested him.
Yeah, they
while he
arrested
was
the victim.
unconscious on the floor, being fucking treated by paramedics. That's why people won't get involved. That's the way this country is now. Unless there's a drastic change, that's the way this country's going, and it's only going to get worse. Because nobody is doing anything about it.
I can't say anything to that. I can't say anything.
If the locals do anything, you're classed as vigilantes and the police will arrest you.
Mhm.
No, we're far right. Could get it right, please. Come on, Roger, get it right. We're far right.
There is, I won't mention it, the name, but there is a town where they have actually got a number that is spread around the local women, that if they're in public and they get hassled by these immigrants or whoever, I won't say it's just them because it's not, but if anybody starts hassling the kids or the women, they've got a number to ring where they will send out blokes to escort them. Now, straight away, the local police branded them vigilantes for protecting women and kids. That's how.
You know what I read today?
Loafer, good afternoon, mate. Sorry.
A 14-year-old girl in India went out to look after her goats, and because her father told her to go out and look after her goats, and she got kidnapped, gang raped, and then they set her alight while she was on fire.
Yeah, but shit like that in India is a regular occurrence. It's not a regular occurrence on our streets, and it never was.
But my point being is that if that is what's happening in India now, it's what's going to come to the UK soon, where you can't let your children out.
Well, this is my argument. We're letting people in this country that have literally just come from a country where they still burn fucking witches, for crying out loud. Do you think they're going to change overnight? Of course they're not. If they're used to pulling a machete in an argument at home, they've moved to a new country, they're going to do it here. And
So what's our response?
and the only thing that really, really pisses me off is we're the ones that get the shit because we're trying to defend ourselves and stop this happening.
You were born the wrong colour. You were born the wrong colour. You got to understand that.
Exactly. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. It does annoy me. I'm getting wound up again now. I've got to calm down.
Don't wind yourself up. Don't wind yourself up. Look. It's their agenda. It's their agenda. They want you to accept that. They want you to-
There's other channels for doing what I'm thinking now.
Yeah. But there's an agenda. There's an agenda. And understand what the agenda is, right? It's about making you feel insecure.
Alec, take care, buddy. Thanks for joining in, mate. It is appreciated. If you didn't, hit the like button on your way out. Do us a favour. It doesn't make any difference. YouTube still fucked me around anyway. So.
But just think about it. It's about making you insecure. It's about making insecure for you. So it's the perfect racism profile.
Yeah, you can only be racist if you're white.
If you're white, you can't be racist if you turn around and you know, it's just,
like others are saying, we want white pride week.
Yeah,
Well,
so
No, do you know what I want? Do you know what I want? No, I'm an Irishman, but you know what I want? I want to see the St George's Cross and that white flag flying over the fucking UK, and I want to see it, and not have councils turn around and go, "Oh, if you don't take that flag down, we're going to do you for racial profiling. We're going to do this." No. Excuse me. This is St George's Cross. This is England.
Well, you look at the parades and everything that goes on. You got Hindu festivals, you got Pride festivals, you got the celebration of being black festivals. You tell me where there's one festival like that celebrates person being fucking white.
May Day.
May Day, yeah.
Like that. Yeah. This is W in the hip.
It just proves the point. It just proves the point. And I'm by far from a racist. I've got coloured friends.
We're not racist.
I've worked with some very nice Muslim guys. Two of the tutors at college were brilliant. They were Muslim. And at the end of the sessions and the courses and that, we stayed in touch. I don't have a problem with anything like that. But what they are, it's what other people are doing with it. They're using people to cause all this.
Agitation. It's called agitation. Agitation is what they're talking about. But we're not racist. We don't talk about colour. Shit, mate. I mean, every one of us has turned around and we've had racial relationships. I mean, I'm married to a Filipino. Am I racist?
But you look at expats. Whatever country you choose to live in, you choose to live by their laws.
Oh, without a doubt. Oh, well, fuck me. If I turn around,
they don't respect that when they come here.
No. And
we have to respect their laws when we go to their country, but they no way want to respect ours when they come here.
That's the reason why I have my channel, and that's the reason why I fucking turn around and I turn around every day and I say, "This is look." If you
that's probably why they keep cutting you off.
I know. It is actually probably. But I mean, I rail against it. It's me so angry. When you turn around and I've got so many friends in the UK and I talk to them every day, and I've got so many friends in the UK and I talk to them every day, and they go, "We can't do this." I mean, I had a couple move back, two girls moved back the other day, and they can't get internet.
Yep.
Sky can't give them.
We are only one step away from more or less martial law here.
Yeah, I know.
I will put it that way.
Yeah.
And now with the new stuff,
I've got a team. I've got a team ready. You know what my history is, and I might pop back to the UK one day. You boys do the talking. I'll do the walking. Okay.
Afternoon, Moo.
Moo in the house. Oh,
Yes, Alistair, it is. It does get upsetting, when you see your country being pulled apart, and the ones that are supposed to be stitching it back together and helping us get back on our feet are working against us at every fucking step. And you do. You feel helpless. You absolutely feel helpless. You can have a voice. Voting ain't going to make a shit of difference. The only thing that they're ever going to take notice of is direct action, like what's happening against the ULEZ, like what's happening against cashless society. More people now. I mean, bank holiday, there was a record amount of cash drawn out of cash machines. Most of them were empty.
People wanted ice cream.
People wanted ice cream. They want to go to a car boot sale. They want to go to the beach, go to the amusements. You can only do that with cash.
And who do you think was doing that?
And most of the supermarkets now, there's an awful lot of people that are bypassing the automatic tills and are actually going to a teller, even if they got a queue. And they are paying by cash. To the point where some businesses over here now are saying, we'll only accept cash, or we will accept cash, but we will charge more if we use a card.
I absolutely can't stand the self-service.
And the other thing is, like with Aldi in particular, the one that's been in the news, well, not in the news, but we know about, if you've gone through the tills, then they can't stop you and poke around in your bag and shit like that, like they do from the automatic ones, which is called same as what happened in Walmart in America. They've no right to go for your bag. They're your possessions. You paid for them. And I would recommend, if they do that, first thing words out of my mouth would be, do you think I've stolen something? If they say possibly, I say, well, before you go through the bag, I want the police here, please, because now you're accusing me of being a thief. And if they just keep fucking about, I'd just say, okay, right, let's go to the tills. There's my receipt. Let's check every item. And once they've checked it, I'd say, right, now I want a refund for every fucking thing, and I'm leaving. That's what I would do. What are you saying?
If you don't do things like that, you're going to lose the right to actually pay in cash.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
You'll lose the right. If you turn around, no, I said if you don't do things like that, you will lose the right to pay in cash. And cash is the authority. It's the king's realm.
Tell me what Queenie said in her last statement, and tell me what Proper Charlie said in his inaugural statement.
Charlie is WEF.
Tell me what they said in their statements.
Charlie turned around and he said, we want to move to a.
No, he didn't. Queenie, before she died, on her last opening of Parliament and
it's actually her.
Let me finish.
Anniversary today. The Queen's anniversary
if you keep
today.
on, I'll put you in the back room. Let me finish. I started saying something there. Let me finish, please, Murph. Queenie said in her last statement to Parliament, we must preserve cash in this nation. Not digital currency, she said cash. And when Charlie took the throne in his inaugural statement, he said exactly the fucking same. So he is tied to that. Yes, he has got connections with the WEF, but he has told the country that while he's king, cash will be preserved. And I distinctly remember that because I did a video on the same day the clown said it.
Accept it. I'm not arguing with you, my man.
So,
but today is the Queen's death anniversary.
So if they go, is it today?
Yes.
Yeah, today.
Yes.
Monday's 9/11. No.
I'll give my commiserations. I'll give my commiserations to all my military boys.
So if the government turn around and say no, we're having digital only, that is basically as good as going against a royal proclamation, which they cannot do, and that is open to treason. There you go.
There's been many things that have been fucking open to treason.
Come on.
How many treasonable offences have been committed by Boris?
I call every one of them in there a treasonous.
Yeah.
With what they've done. Because
I mean, the truth of the offence is Boris Johnson going on a journey to India and then allowing COVID-3 to come in while he was waiting, and everyone was saying, shut it now. And he's going, no, I'm going to India next week. Shut it down. And we got COVID-3. We got COVID-3 over that.
People have been saying it today because it's the first year of Charlie in power. Well, he ain't got no fucking power, but his first year in as king. And they're questioning.
No. He did more visits than an old lady.
You won't let me say anything, will you? Fuck's sake, Murph. Look, when I start talking, wait until I've finished and then you can talk, okay? Afternoon, Furq. I've lost where I was at now. This is what happens when people put in. Oh, for fuck's sake. What was I talking about, babe?
The king.
Charlie.
Yeah, I know I was talking about Charlie and Cash. I've done that bit.
Visits.
No, yeah, today they were looking at about how much people are actually following him now, how much people and what they think of the royals. And there is a lot more today in interviews have said, well, they're just an entity. They're just a relic from the past and a very expensive one. We've seen through his actions and the government's actions, they have absolute no running in the country whatsoever because they'll ignore them. So why are we still paying for it? It's not as if they can't support themselves. You know, why are they still taking millions and millions of taxes off of us?
Didn't Charles turn around and give the duchy to William?
Or what would you call it? I had the word in my head then, and it's gone. They're just a tradition. That's all the monarchy is now, a tradition. Nothing else, and a very expensive one at that. But they can have all their big parades, spend millions and millions of the taxpayers' money, but we want a white parade. No, we're not allowed it.
Do you know what was the thing that I spotted most was on Fatfinger's coronation was there was a 17-year-old girl who was carrying the staff, and she was 17 years of age and she was carrying the staff, and it was a 700-year-old tradition that this family has to carry the staff. And I went, how the fuck are you a 17-year-old and you have to carry the staff?
Well, this is why our government is in such a fucking turmoil, because they're operating on past. They're operating on the past. The House of Lords, the House of Commons. It's ridiculous. They want to bring the country up into the modern world. Well, first of all, you've got to bring your government into the modern world.
And the laws.
And the laws, exactly.
Because we've still got laws dating back from Henry VIII's era.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. That's the Magna Carta.
Literally, it's only because they haven't been repealed, but they will, on occasions, go back to them laws.
Yep.
And they tried to prosecute a homeless guy under a vagrancy law from about 1816 or something.
Yeah. That's
the main
bench just threw it straight out. They said, "Don't be bloody ridiculous. We know it's law, but from 1800 and something, no, dismissed." Afternoon, Missy. Welcome.
Hello, Missy. How are you?
Yeah,
I mean, it was Charles I that lost the royal family's power over this country.
Yeah,
like I always said, the only one with any honest intent that walked into Parliament was fucking Guy Fawkes. We need another one of them. I shouldn't say that, but
relax. We had a few Catholics and a few Protestants, and then we had the Germans.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's where the Germans went wrong during the war. They tried to use aircraft rather than rubber boats, didn't they?
There were deals done. There were deals done. Britain was never going to be invaded. You know, so there were deals done.
If the right, because it used to be called, had come across the channel in rubber boats, they'd have been welcomed.
Oh. Came a lot of times.
But even that, see, we will stop the boats. That's all we've heard from him. He's not done anything about it. Now, all of a sudden, he's decided, we'll go after the factories where these boats are being made, because they are single purpose. They're going
after the houses now, aren't they? They're going after the houses. So if your house,
but why didn't they do that in the beginning instead of giving millions and millions to the bloody French who do fuck all? Why didn't they spend their millions going after the people that are producing these boats? Because they're only producing them so they can sell them to the traffickers. So you stop supply. You know, they knew the engines were coming from auctions because a lot of them were ex-military, European military, to the point where it was proved because a lot of them still had their numbers painted on them that were filmed in Dover. So they knew where these boats were coming from. You know, you get the ones that are stolen and been bought, you know, personally, that come across with 15, 20 of them in. But these ones with 50, 60 in, they are being commercially produced specifically for that purpose. And that's where they've got to stop it. Because there's millions more coming into Europe now. There's millions flooding into Europe. And that was reported on today again as well. They're flooding in only places like Turkey that have set up hard borders for stopping them. The rest are coming flooding through. So it's only going to get worse. And our lot just don't give a flying fuck. You know? I mean,
demographic.
Demographic
of the leaders of the country. Demographic of the leaders of the country. Sorry, I'm confused. I'm confused. Is there an elected prime minister of this country?
No.
What demographic is he?
Exactly. Same as his underling.
The concrete, the concrete issue that we're going on at the moment. Who was in charge of that? The schools program. Who cut the budget by 51 million?
Yeah,
he cut by 51. Who was that?
See you, Pat. Take care, buddy.
I'm unsure about who actually reduced
we voted for a party. And most of the people that voted for that party in the last one was because they wanted out of Europe.
So how many?
We've got now, he's signing us back into things in Europe.
How many?
To leave. And we're still paying millions to the EU.
We've signed up to the Science Hub today. Be proud.
We're still signed up to the UCH, European Court of Human Rights. We're still tied into that deal they did the other day. We're still tied into some trade deals. We're still tied into borders deals. We haven't left Europe. Far from it.
We're British. We've done it. Be proud.
And it's caused nothing but problems ever since. They should have left, made the cut. Fuck you. Bye-bye. But they couldn't do it. And now most of them want to get back in there.
And do you know what's funny? I'm listening to all of the left-wing boys, and they're all turning around and saying, we should be back. We should be back. We should be back. We should be back. We should be back.
Oh, didn't want to hide that one. Shit, these comments are going up all over the place here. Right. That one, Stuart. No, they are being stored. There's a warehouse with a big compound where they were storing them. Who was it? Active actually did a video when they found it. Most of them are recycled, I believe. They are actually destroyed. Everybody did think they were selling them on, but most of them get recycled.
There you go, Stuart Beat. There you go, Stuart Beat. Top notch, my man. Good information.
You know, things may have changed. I don't know, but I can't think of any other use that they would be good for, because by the time they get halfway across, they're falling apart anyway. They're certainly not safe, and they shouldn't be on the water. It's just glued together butyl most of the time. I mean, anybody that you buy a dinghy off and they give you a pump with it, there's got to be a bit suspect. You know what I mean? Puncher outfit.
I saw one picture of the French guy just going around and just stabbing the boats, and just stab, and he just he stabbed everything.
Didn't you find anything funny about that video though?
Did I find anything? It was staged. Obviously, it was staged.
It might not have been staged that the boat was there and they were there, but it was definitely staged for the camera, the actions the police took.
Yeah.
Same as a lot of the police at these festivals, protests, not just here, Europe as well.
Are we talking about taking the knee?
How they do it. They'll be a bit rough, but they'll stand there with the protester, whoever, let them have their say at the camera before they chuck them in the van.
Tell Missy to hit the link.
You know?
Base Welshman. He turned around and he's been in places. He's disappeared. And I don't care what
he got arrested at Clanelly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's a case that free speech should be allowed.
Yeah. But they've arrested him under bogus charges, and what they've done, they've suppressed his free speech under the bail conditions.
Yeah. I mean, he can't actually talk again. So that's part of their
same they did with the guys down in Dover. They banned them from Dover, but also as part of the bail conditions, they weren't allowed to post or talk about anything going on down there. And they couldn't until the bail conditions had been lifted.
How can I support him? How can I support him? I'll get him a fucking lawyer. I'll tell you what, we can't allow this. We can't allow this. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tell us what to fucking do.
He kept getting his channel pulled down. He's still out there. The best one to follow if you want to know what's going on with all that is Yorkshire Rose at the moment.
I've got it. I'm already there.
Tracy does put a bit out, but not very often at the moment.
She's been active today. Yorkshire Rose has been active today. She's been active today. She is knocking it out.
Yorkshire Rose has. But Tracy has took a slight step back because she's been concentrating on her home life more than anything, I think.
Yeah.
Her and Dave were down there more or less for 2 years solid filming.
I know. I used to watch.
Yorkshire Rose is the one if you want to follow that sort of thing.
It's not. I want to follow it. I just want that. I want to actually.
You'll get up to date information from it. Put it that way.
Yeah. I want to know.
If you want to know exactly how many are coming across the channel and stuff like that, Steve Lord or Liam T.
Yeah,
and they're literally on the doorstep. They're based down there. So, it's just knowing who you trust for the numbers, and I only give out people's channels like that for that type of information if I trust their information.
Yeah, I understand. That's the way the channel should go.
It's like
we're not bullshit merchants. We're not bullshit merchants. We are just simple people who want to talk to each other.
It was GB News did a story this morning where they were out in the channel filming from a fishing boat. I presume it looked like a fishing boat.
I did see that. Yeah.
Well, now several anglers have been out there, and in their fishing trip, they've been filming what's been going on with their phones, GoPros. Everybody films when they're fishing. Well, most of them do nowadays. Now, the skipper has told them, no, you're not allowed to film them. because he will be arrested and fined if they use that footage. Now, GB News in that article said, oh, you know, they were pointing out, look how the French escort them to the middle, you know, and they were more or less saying this is a new thing. I mean, fuck me, we were reporting that 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
I was standing around. I was telling you that there were lifeboats off station by nearly 107 fucking miles.
Yeah. And the thing is
So-
now, the RNLI are suffering because people are leaving because they can't have all the time off the jobs to keep responding to this.
And their subs have gone through the floor. One of our statutory RNLI always help people, always fucking help people. But now suddenly, nothing.
I mean, we only donate. Well, I used to donate regular when I was living in Cornwall and working on the boats. Obviously, everybody did that was connected with working on the sea, even normal anglers. But since I moved up here, the only time I get to donate is when we go on holiday. Because where we fish, literally, we walk past the lifeboat station. And some of the guys are quite, you know, we've had chats with them as they've walked along and what have you. And they're great bunch of lads. But even that, now we've stopped because of what they're doing. We've explained to them, not because we're against them up there, that they're not connected to it. I said it's the organisation.
Fuck.
If they want to use a charity-paid organisation to do the government's dirty work, then the fucking government should pay for it at least. You know?
Fuck. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. You know, I understand your reasons. But you understand what the RNLI means to me and it means to you, specifically that you come from Cornwall, you know, and you understand what the RNLI is. You understand what it's meant to be.
I mean, I was down there when things went off like the Penley lifeboat and stuff like that, where the whole fucking crew was lost just trying to save some others, you know? And I would hate to see that sort of thing happen again, especially if it was people that were trying to, not taken away from the fact they'd lose a lot of the people coming over. I mean, a sad loss of life is bad at any time, no matter what reason. But
if you've got a station,
if you got life through somebody else's stupidity is not acceptable.
If you've got a station that is 107 miles off its location, then what is that? RNLI?
Do the French not have an equal organisation other than their Coast Guard, whatever they're called? Because the other day, when it happened, our lot went to within 6 miles of the French coast to pick some up. So where was the French rescue service? And surely they should have dropped them back in France, because they're under their guidance says take them to the first safe port where they can receive attention. And that was that Turkey? Channel.
Wasn't it Turkey or something like that? Turkey or the first safe country. But of course, we're not allowed to say that anymore. We're not allowed to say anymore that it's the first safe country. So the first safe country is actually Syria.
It's the first country you come to where there's no war.
That offers, and this is how they've changed it now, that offers a sanctuary.
And wherever you go under that guidance, that's where you apply for asylum at your chosen point.
Exactly.
But they can't be bothered, and you know, and they've cut down the amount of time they're questioning them now. It's less than an hour to fill in their form and give them a tick and set them on their way.
Yeah.
But all they're doing is, right, you got the right to stay here. Maybe you can do a bit of part-time work. There you go. Fuck off. You're out the hotel. They're kicking them on the street. Where are they going to go from there? What?
I think that 14-year-old girls are finding out that.
Sorry. What?
Missy would like to join the channel but doesn't know how. She's only got a phone. So tell her all she's got to do is wave at you and then she can turn the camera off if you would.
Okay, so sorry about that, Murph. Missy's trying to get up on the panel. She's only got a phone. So what you've got to do, Missy, is click on the StreamYard link. Click on Enter Studio. It'll ask you to do one or two things like verify your name, turn your mic on, make sure that's all working through your phone. And then you'll pop up in the back room where I can see you if you've got your camera on. As soon as you've popped up in there, if you prefer to turn your camera off, you can. And that will save a bit of power and computing power on your phone as well. But that's the way in, is through the StreamYard link. You might not be able to run YouTube and StreamYard at the same time, mind. So this is
Love the
Well, I'm only running StreamYard, so
yeah,
and I'm on my mobile.
It's easier because then you haven't got the lag between StreamYard and YouTube. For those that, like myself, use multi-screen, I got StreamYard on one, YouTube on the other, Discord on another.
And I don't have a fucking clue.
we can get between the two because the computer will handle it. But quite often you'll get confused between the chat, trying to follow the chat and talk on StreamYard. It's very hard to do the two on the phone. That's what's that, Rob? Hang on. Used to go sailing with Dad's boat.
Love the fat fish. Looking good there, girl.
I'll be able to see if she pops up in the back room because that's the first place it will take.
Thank you, Murph.
If you just follow the prompts, Missy. It'd be nice to see someone new up. Missy's been a part of the channel for quite a while now.
She says nice thing about me, so
It's not a pretty sight.
Ban her immediately.
You worry about not being a pretty sight. I mean, you've only got to look at the host, man. Come on.
we all say that, Miss.
But apparently Jorge's mother thinks I'm cool.
I think stunned you.
I don't get as many women swooning over me as Dan does, but I get my share.
She swoons when Dad's around.
According to Facebook, anyway, because I get some quite weird ones coming at me on there.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I totally took myself out.
Yeah. I deliberately used to stay away from Facebook. I would never ever start a profile, and I hadn't until this year, when a mate of mine was sat in here and Heather, and they kept going on at me because they were relaying messages from old friends to me and what have you. They persuaded me to open one. So Heather sorted it out for me to set me up with a Facebook page. And you know what I'm like with new tech? Whoa, what the was going on with this thing? And I've got all these pictures of women with huge breasts and skimpy clothes coming on. Oh, yes, I want to come on your channel. I want to follow you, this, that, the other. And it took me one to realise that they were the scammers. Yeah, I like you. Me fucky sucky long time. Yeah, and you're
long time.
Well, I actually turned it round on one a little while back, and I got to admit, the pictures she was posting, they were clean, fully clothed. She was a good-looking woman, but it obviously wasn't related to her. There was a couple of messages backwards and forwards, and then you got the usual, oh, I would like to follow you, this, that, and the other. So straight away, I said, well, that's not a problem. If you do like what I do, send me $50 so I can keep my internet going. That was it. It disappeared. Yeah, oh, that was hilarious. But I still get them, not so many now. That was the reason I turned Skype off. I had that originally just for the phone-ins to Dan's channel because it was easier.
Yes, I get 20 messages a day.
Weird videos of half-naked women laid on beds, and phone calls, video calls, and I'm like, I can't be doing with this. So I just uninstalled the bloody thing.
When I actually get messages, all I turn around and say, "Where are you? Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Lagos." What? I'm in Lagos. Is it what, Lagos, Nigeria? I said, "Yeah, I'm in Lagos, Nigeria." And they go, "Oh, well, I'm in Texas." I know you're not in Texas. You're in Lagos because your English isn't good enough.
Well, Jorge says he's in America somewhere. But I'm not quite sure. But
I think him and Alistair are Americans because they talk about.
yeah, they seem to be friends, don't they? They seem to know each other, which is fine,
But they're asking questions about American history and people that are big in America, not people over here.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've only got to look at them videos where they go around asking the younger ones about American history over there, and they ain't got a clue.
Well, no, but they expect us to know.
I mean, I don't know whether you've ever seen them. There's a guy goes round, and it's obviously people who've been through schooling or uni or college, whatever they have over there, asking questions. And one of the favourite ones that most of them can't get in is who fought in the American Civil War.
Yeah.
Give us a wave, Missy. Give us a wave. Yeah. How are you? Oh, we got a loot.
Not good.
I don't know how we're going to get. Have you got the StreamYard YouTube running as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you use the StreamYard and just listen YouTube and just listen through the StreamYard to create a loop?
Okay, I'll try.
And if you want to turn the camera off,
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's still there. So someone has still got YouTube open somewhere.
Okay. I think that might. Is that me?
I wouldn't worry about it too much. It does get annoying because we can't. Everybody has the same problem.
Well, I've just gone out of YouTube, so.
So you've gone out of YouTube. Right, hang on a minute. I'm just gonna mute Liz for a minute. Right now, yeah, it's definitely you, Lizzie.
Oh, I've just gone out of YouTube.
I'm back.
Yeah, it's still there. What you just using the microphone on your phone, are you?
Yeah, I'm just shutting every app that I've got open.
Yeah. What it is, I think you're using the speaker on your phone as well. The microphone picking it up from the speaker. I don't know way around that unless you've got a separate microphone. Have you got a headset?
No.
Oh well, at least you know how to get on here now.
Oh, thank you. It's just that I was so fed up with just keep texting everything.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not gonna mute Lizzie or anything because she's a newcomer in here. We're only going to be going for another 20 minutes. So in fairness, I'm going to leave her there so she can talk. It doesn't look like she's talking only when we are. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you. It's really taken me a lot to do this.
You're not alone, sweetheart. There are many people that have felt the same coming on lives. Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I was nervous as hell the first time I went on a panel on Dan's channel. And I'd been on his channel for over a year and a half.
Well, I listened to what Murph says, and you know, I sort of resonate with that for completely different reasons. And I resonate with what you say, Roger. And you can't sort of reply in a YouTube message or a Facebook message, and I just want to start talking.
Yeah. This is what it's like. Everybody needs some way of being heard. And that's where the suppression comes in, the censorship, because they don't want too many people standing up and shouting.
Well, also, I live on my own and I'm very lonely, and I found this channel thanks to my sister. And, well, I look forward to seeing the things that Roger posts, the memes or memes.
Most of those are stolen from Facebook.
Well, and mine, Roger. And I'm very lonely, and it just gives me a little bit of community on a Friday. Through like-minded people, and it's very nice. Thank you.
And the other thing is, this is why I try to keep this Friday one drama-free. For people exactly like yourself that can't be doing that, they just want to have a chat, have a bit of fun, and that's what we're about.
Right. You're echoing through. You're echoing through.
Hang on, I'll just mute Liz a minute there.
There you go. Done. Perfect. Now start again.
Nope.
Okay.
It's starting again. Hang on. What's going on here? Liz, I'm just going to mute you for a second. I will see when you're talking because your avatar will flash, okay?
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Right, Murph.
Yes, mate. I can hear you. I can hear you. You sound. You're good.
Yeah, you can say what you were going to say now without the echo, and then as soon as you've said it, I'll unmute Liz.
Oh, right. It was the case that no one needs to be lonely. We are one community here, and we are one community that loves each other. We actually turn around. We are like-minded. Yes, we are like-minded, but we are not a case that we are turning around and abused. So, welcome to the Friday Club.
We all have different opinions, and we're always respectful when we give them.
Echo again. You're echoing. Rog.
What?
You got me repeating.
Lizzie, I've unmuted her so she can reply.
On you.
I'm sorry, I've really disrupted this, haven't I? Because I'm not tech savvy. And I'm only on the phone.
We have every bloody week on Dan's channel.
I just want to say that even though I'm a woman, I have got a sense of humour, and I'm not a prude. And well, I think Roger might testify to that with the memes that I send him. So I'm not adverse to a laugh and a joke, and I'm certainly not woke. So
no, I can see that.
Exactly, Roger. But as I say, it's really nice to be able to talk. Hopefully, I can work out this chat thing so that I don't disrupt everyone else.
Hell.
I may in a couple of months.
Even though I'm a woman.
Yeah, well, I know, but a lot. To be honest with you, I'm not very happy with a lot of women. I think a lot of them are too woke. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
hopefully in a couple of months I'll be able to afford a laptop, and then I can get on this properly. So I'll try and refrain from disrupting the lives until then.
No, you can get on easy enough with the phone. You just got to know the way to do it, and you've got to have a headset.
I've never done this before, so
No,
this is
no,
my
no
first
problem.
time.
It's not a problem.
I've
mean,
never
I
gone onto
obviously
anyone's live stream. I've never participated in this at all. I just felt really
surprised how many newcomers have come in here first and gone on to other ones.
I felt really comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, some of the I'm just going to mute your mic there a minute to stop the echo. Some of the other channels, they can be overwhelming. And I don't just mean the drama channels. Some of the bigger channels, there's that much going on in them. They can be overwhelming for a newcomer. As I said, I was apprehensive the first time I went on to Dan's. But that was only because I'd known him for some time through the channel. But we all get there. It affects people a bit more. Stitch was the same when she first started coming on. And same as many others. So you're not alone in that. Don't worry about that at all. There you go.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Murph. Thank you for everyone else. And thank you, Mrs. W.
Just
And
enjoy.
thank you for being so welcoming.
If you want, I don't know whether you're in Pap's Discord server, but you can get in there and you can get on video calls and private chat in there if you want. Most of us are in there as well.
Well, unfortunately, I still don't really understand what Discord means. And also,
none of us do.
Regarding a conversation that we had, Roger,
Yeah.
I probably won't be frequenting Pap's live streams or anything else.
That's absolutely fine. Absolutely. I mean, there's one or two that have dropped in here. I'll just mute your mic again because that's doing my head in now. There are people that come in here that don't particularly go on Pap's stream. Again, there's people that come in here from other channels that I've left for particular reasons. I don't have any beef with them anymore. There's no nastiness or backbiting going on there. But they still come in here and they're more than welcome because they don't bring up the drama. They don't bring things between channels. And they're always respectful when they're here. And those people, like yourself, are more than welcome. I won't entertain the drama on here. If anybody starts it, if it's bad enough, they don't even get a warning. I kick them out. So on that score, you're absolutely safe. There you go.
I certainly am not in the habit or I'm inclined to want to start any drama. And I'm really up for respect. Respect to people. I've had enough disrespect in my life.
Is the echo not? No.
I've had enough disrespect and bullying in my life and violence, and I certainly am too old to entertain that now.
Well, all the Discord is. I'll mute your mic again so I can talk without the echo. It's a platform where you sign in, you'll get an invite, or you say you want to sign in. You go in there, there's lots of different things you can open. One is a general chat, which is the chat like in here. There is also a video section where you can go in and have multiple people on the screen chatting. Again, you can turn your camera off. You don't have to have a camera.
Like FaceTime, WhatsApp.
Bit like WhatsApp, yeah. There's other pages in there where you can get advertised videos that people have put up, news, send ideas in. That's near enough all to do with Dan. But there are other sections where you can talk to people directly, like on Facebook, either through video or whatever. But be aware on the general chat, that is open to everybody that is part of that server. You cannot be private in that open chat. You can be private, I believe, in the video call side of it. but I don't know whether they can infiltrate it, whether it's just the people that are on the screen can talk to each other, but people can drop in. You can't stop people dropping in. So, but that's all Discord is. There you go. There you go.
All right,
Unmuted.
thank you for the explanation, Roger. And I'm really sorry to everyone else that I interrupted and took over this live stream. Sorry.
If it was at the beginning of the stream, I'd have said it would have been a pain. But basically now we're only about 10 minutes away from finishing. So you're a newcomer to the stream, even though I know you or know of you and have spoke to you in the past. So I'm quite happy to put up with it for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, lovely. You're quite happy to put up with me for 10 minutes. Thank you.
and it's not very often I say that.
I'm sure it isn't.
It's actually nice to have new people popping in on the channel. You know, once you get your issues sorted out with that, then you can come in right from the beginning and have your opinions and views on things as well.
Absolutely, and I'm really into, like, we can have opinions, we can disagree, but we don't need to disrespect.
Yeah.
You know,
and the other thing is when on here, I do debate on other channels, but on here I don't like to try and get too deep. I try to stay within topics that people know a little bit about, because I find it's like when I talk about cars, I'm going over people's heads. Not everybody's interested, so people get bored of it. So I try and keep the topics within people's range of knowledge, education, so people can join in rather than just sit back and get lost with what's being said. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. And I mean, you know that well, apart from the fact that I'm partially Cornish and biologically half American, that's why I like half the American cars. I would never be able to afford one. But I like them.
To be honest, I couldn't afford one now, let alone run one with the prices they're going for. It's ridiculous. But, you know, I've shown the pictures. People have seen it. I've told them what they are. And, yeah, people sometimes are interested, but most aren't.
Well, we will have our things we're interested in. And as I say, all I'm interested in right now is I'm really thankful that I've found a channel that I can talk to people and they seem to be very like-minded, and I'm always looking at Mrs. W. I know she's doing her job, like as in keeping me in check. You know, she's like the silent commander.
She's as much of this channel as I am.
That's what I like to think of Mrs. W.
She supported me right from the beginning. The first computer I ever had here was an old desktop that I used to use that she had. The only one I went out and bought, I did buy a second-hand laptop, but she had to show me how to use that. That was an old Windows 7. But yeah, she's been a big part of the channel for a long, long time, but normally she's just in the background, and I'd like to bring her out to the front now because she is such a part of it.
Well,
there you go.
I think probably Mrs. W is more than part of the channel.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolutely. And she's like a woman that sort of, she knows what she's doing. She doesn't need to stand up in front of the camera and say hello,
no.
You know, because she's respectful and she's classy, and you know, she doesn't need to go, you know,
you get the wrong side of it.
Respect Mrs. W. You know, we are of the same age. And yes, in fact, you're. When I look at you, Mrs. W, I'm quite wary of you, to be honest.
So hi.
It's like you're a commander.
Well,
It's like you're a commander of the ship.
I'm the matriarch of my family.
And I totally agree with that. But and respect to you. But you still.
Well, up until a few months back, she was actually working full time as well. It was only because she got moved on from the job she was on. But,
Yes, and absolute respect to you, Mrs. W, because 20 or 30 years ago, I rented a place in Cornwall, in Parr.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I worked at Parr Docks for Imerys Minerals, or used to be English China Clays. And I spent a year waiting for my so-called man, waiting to come. I had to go and get the job and all the rest of it and work. He sat on his backside. I paid all the bills, provided the car. Where did it get me?
Yeah,
Nowhere. Anyway, that's sorry, but
carry on.
But all I meant was women are strong.
Yeah. I mean, when we first met, I was working full time as well. I was renting my own flat, and even when I was working, once I'd moved in, the wages were combined. She paid all the bills. The house, the rent and everything was in her name with the council. All the contracts were in her name for services. So literally, I just used to hand the money over on a Friday when I got, every other Friday. I'd transfer the money into her bank and I'd just have back what I needed for my personal expenses through till the next pay period. And I've never ever done it any other way, because I've always said if two people are living together, then you support each other. Yes, there are going to be times when one has got something, one hasn't. And there are going to be times sometimes when it's on the other foot. And I've been in both positions. At the moment, we're both in the same position. I'm on the sick and I can't work. I'm not allowed to work. The consultants have told me that it can be dangerous. And Heather is between jobs. She is looking, but there's not a lot out there in her field at the moment. So at the moment, we are on benefits. But yeah, I know people are struggling. But they are legit.
You know, my mother and father are now sadly passed away. But my mum always said she was so proud because she said my father, my husband, never gave me housekeeping money, because it wasn't a case of, you know, you've got to run the house. It was like, I go out to work and you know, what's my money is your money. And she, you know, she was never made to feel she brought up the children. And the thing is that that's how we are, how we should be. Like, you know, sometimes someone has some money and sometimes someone doesn't. Luckily I have a very the only people I've got in the world now is my sister and brother, but we've always had a understanding that who's ever got any money pays the money. But we don't make a list of who's paid what.
No. This
You
is
know.
how I lost my house in Bristol to my ex-partner. When we bought the house, in fairness, my brother lent me the money for the deposit. I didn't have enough at the time. So we bought the house reasonably cheap, but it needed complete renovation. And because I've always done building work, I said I'd do it myself. Now, I'd racked up a lot of debts, obviously, buying materials, getting specialists in that stuff I couldn't do, like the gas and the stuff like that. They've got to be done by a registered person. I incurred a lot of debt. But what we said at the beginning when we took the mortgage out was she would pay the mortgage out of her wages, and I would pay the rest of the running of the house. When we split up, I went to a solicitor and he said, well, basically, because you've never paid anything towards the actual property, he said, the materials and the work you've done don't come into it. He said, you could end up losing more than you can now just by signing it over and walking away. And that was what I had to do. And I'm still paying some of the debt off now. And that's what, 20 years down the line.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from, Roger. I mean, I've had relationships. My brother and sister are very close to me. I'm a triplet. Mrs. W will understand where I'm coming from with that because of a message that I sent to her earlier. But and we're fighting at the moment.
Well, I don't speak to my family. I haven't done. I'll mute your mic a minute there. I haven't done since my mother died. I had very little contact with them even before that because once I got into my teen years, it was all about my brother and my sister, who were both younger than me. Nobody bothered about what I did. So I just buggered off and did what I wanted to do. I led my life how I wanted to. But my dad died, a will was made. My mum was allegedly changing it to make it fair. And then when she died, I assumed that the will was still the same as I'd been told it was, which would give myself, my brother and my sister equal shares. I was cut right out the will. My brother was cut right out the will. Now, in fairness, my brother doesn't need money. He was a big businessman. He's a multi-millionaire. He's just retired. Comfortable big house on the River Thames. And I never got a penny. Now, I'd always figured out that when I got the inheritance, I was going to buy the council house and that would see us through. But obviously that fell through. So we're still paying rent. But that's how families go sometimes. I don't speak to them. I openly told my sister I detest her. She said she never wants to hear from me again, so I would find you two-faced bitch, not that I want to contact you.
Did you delete the comment?
I didn't know.
There you go, Sue.
Who's deleting the comment?
Not me, not you.
Whose comment was it?
Mr. Fish
Sorry, Richie, I'm going to mute you. What was that? Sorry?
Oh, in the comments, Mr. Fingnottle said why was his comment deleted, but neither of us have deleted it. There's no other mods in today. It's not showing as a deleted comment, so it's YouTube.
Right, that's YouTube then. YouTube are active in the comments, people. Because he's put another comment there and that one's still there, so
yeah.
YouTube are deleting comments.
Sorry, mate.
But I will leave. Actually, I'll mute you again for a bit, Lizzie, and then I'll drop you back in at the end there. It is gone 7 o'clock, people. So I'm gonna call it now. I will let you back up, Missy, in a sec. Just hang on a sec. So I will say To everybody in the chat, thank you very much. Been absolutely brilliant. Mr. Finkelnottle, if your comment disappeared, mate, it wasn't down to us. I do apologise for that, but YouTube is beyond my control, sadly. Otherwise, it'd be a lot better platform. But to everybody in the chat, thank you very much for coming in this afternoon. I will be running another stream next Friday, as it seems to go down well on a Friday afternoon, especially with the later time. So until then, enjoy your weekend. The weather's supposed to be warm. It's overcast here now, and I would expect a thunderstorm or two with the way it is. But take care. And for those that will be there Sunday, don't forget PAP Live, 8 o'clock Sunday evening. Take care. Be safe. Be strong. Be free. Take care, guys.
Let the others say goodbye.
Do you guys want to say goodbye to anybody there? Sorry.
Oh, Roger, I'm so sorry. I feel like I've taken over your.
No,
live
you're all
stream.
right, darling. You're all right.
And I'm really sorry, but thank
Right,
you.
I'm just going to shut that down now. Stay where you are, guys. What am I doing here? Why is that not responding? There we go.